or somewhere to the time that we opened Talakaru's prison. This place had been reopened, possibly shortly after. We're not sure exactly the timing. He did say something curious about us being the only living creatures here, which led us to believe perhaps the cultists are not real. He mentioned the miasma, which we hadn't really seen yet, and he thought that there was something sort of weird about it. Perhaps it was a little bit sentient or some intelligent. We concluded that it was similar to the miasma that we had seen under the church that had hurt Donnie and potentially sent him back in time, so might explain some of the illusions of time looping, but we're not really clear on why. Theo found some magic signatures on a chest, and Beldani opened it, and they found a ring with marking in runic, which I identified ring of warmth, but there was more to it than that, possibly some sort of more powerful or sinister magic. Ivor decided it was to wear it. He's self-destructive.
Did he get too attuned to that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's attuned. Then Ivor offered to take all the watches, which surprised some of us, knowing that he didn't need to sleep after all. And he kind of slipped out into what I'm calling the patio, to hang out and watch for anyone who might intrude. And Donnie went to share first watch with him. They were still out there. Beldani was had laser eyes on the Bodak, and saw him sort of finishing up his ritual, and then he started to leave. So Beldani asked him why, and he said he saw his father, the one that we killed. And so Beldani decided to follow him when they passed by Ivor and Donnie out on the patio. Donnie decided to go with. No, neither of you went with at first, right?
What was the question, sorry?
It was just Bell at first, combat.
Yeah, they were on alert, but they didn't quite run immediately.
That's why I had enough time to murder.
Right. Yes, so they didn't go with, they just waited. So Beldani I know what it was. Ivor sent Tinder with Beldani.
Yep.
So they headed off to I believe the same room that we fought the Nalfeshni in. They did pass another Nalfeshni on the way. They got there. There was a conversation that was taking place between the Bodak and the father, and also the woman that we saw when we first came in. It's not clear what her relationship was, but they were arguing with the Bodak. And then the Bodak attacked, and at the time that the Bodak attacked them, demons spawned in the room. I think 6 demons. And Tinder radioed back to headquarters and said, got some problems up here. So Donnie yelled for everyone to wake up, and then Donnie and Ivor headed off. Tinder created a rune portal at the end of the passageway. Theo opened the gate, and woke the rest of us up, and we all, rather confused and befuddled, rushed to the aid of Beldani and by then Donnie, who were getting pummeled pretty hard. We took the portal there. When I arrived, Ivor was paralyzed. I created a wall of force, and Betha and Theo ported into that. I had just dismissed the wall of force and levitated Ivor away from harm, and I believe that's where we left it.
Yeah.
We're all gonna die.
Yes, we are.
If you need
Hi, David.
character sheets, I have some.
Hello.
Yeah, enough for all of us.
Theo's last words: I blame religion.
Donnie's going to be fine.
Yeah, Donnie, death isn't a big thing for him.
Cool. Anyhow, that's where we are.
Did you
Oh,
forget about us, David?
I just realized I was muted this whole time. I was having a
I was
whole
like, man,
discussion with
he's-
myself.
He's pretty quiet.
I was going to say, Donnie gets sucked into another time loop. I would watch a show about a time jumping orc.
Yeah.
Oh, Donnie! Oh, I'm in the future again! And then his
Well, honestly, I
his,
don't think it's
Smash.
the worst idea in the world.
his buddy cop acts as they
Yeah.
have time adventures together. Oh, Donnie! Alright, sorry. So,
Quantum
Dumbass.
Leap Buddy smashes every problem, so it's Quantum Smash.
Quantum Smash. Quantum Donnie. Alright, so Zalia leader and quartermaster. It is the 42nd of fall at 2 a.m. as the battle rages on. Bum, bum, bum. I'll start up the stream, so make sure you have your character portraits up. And yeah, if you want
And we're
to,
still on the world map.
if you want to connect, cool. I'll move you over.
Let me slide into that stream.
Slide into the stream.
There we go.
Get me those high single-digit numbers. That viewership. All right.
You've been over 10 before. You've
That's
been into
true.
the
All
double
right,
digits.
maybe low double-digit numbers. We're shooting for high marks this game. Get those sponsors. All right, back to it. Ivor, it's your turn.
Yes, it is. I'm gonna go with my gut here, knowing that I can see in magical darkness, and Tinder can also. I'm gonna decide to cast. Well, first, how big is this? Let me make sure I'm not fucking anybody up. 15-foot radius. It might get a little weird. We'll see. But I think he can do us some real good here. Oh, a point. I can't. Oh, wait. I think I can. I would like to cast Darkness on the Horned Devil's spear, if I can.
Alright, so you're giving the Horn Devil a darkness radius. Go ahead and link the spell.
Yes. Hey. Hopefully he's got some wicked eyes. Or he's gonna be just as confused as I am. Or as the Shusuba.
Alright, so... Alright, I'm just
Crap.
checking to see if he needs to be a willing target for this.
That's what I was curious about, because I know that light requires a save. But darkness doesn't say anything about that necessarily.
Point you choose as an object you are holding or one that isn't being worn or carried. The darkness emanates from the object. But it says one that isn't being worn or carried.
So perhaps you can only be worn or carried if it is one that you have. Okay, so then we'll just simplify it and say that I cast it.
You could put it on
That's-
something like near him, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that might be.
I think if
the way
it's
to go.
you, you can do. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
That's true. But then I might be fucking up. That might be worse. I'm not sure. Because I'm trying to get the fuck out of Dodge. So then, in that case,
Remember last week Theo got a punch off on both of them, so they're at disadvantage right now.
that's true. I'm hoping the Horned Devil can.
And he yelled out,
Shut up.
"Run north!"
He
Yeah.
did, yes. Well, so here's what I'll do then. 5, 10. I will cast it at. Well, I'll just pull it out then. if I'm
So
just
yeah,
putting
I
it on
think
the
if it's an object you have, you can do that. But if
Right.
it's not, you have to just put it like a point somewhere.
ground. Okay, we'll put it. Yep, that should be fine. That would. I know it doesn't completely surround him, but that would be affecting both of those Shasiva, right?
Yes. So you begin concentrating on the spell, and you spend a second level magical sphere to summon magic darkness. Anything else?
I'm trying to find where's the freaking concentrate? There it is. Yes, I am going to fly 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And I believe
this guy is going to reaction because I think he can still kind of see you because of how big he is.
Okay, I am currently 20 feet up in the air as well.
And he's at disadvantage.
I know he's at disadvantage because of Theo's thing.
Yep.
But I think when you first took off from here, though, you were actually... Were you 20 feet at that point?
No, I got levitated by Zalia.
Yeah, I levitated him.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so if you were at 20 feet at this point, he couldn't oppy you.
Very well.
Yeah, okay. So you should
How
be
tall?
okay then.
How tall is the ceiling in here anyway?
It's probably about 20 or 30 feet.
Okay. Then what I might do instead of going 20 feet horizontally, I think what I'll do is I'll go 10. Why won't it let me? There we go. Oh, 10 feet up and 20 feet out, so that way I'm over the professor. Yep,
Right.
I think I'd rather be off the ground than further away.
Alright.
I don't think they can hit me at all if I'm that high.
Basically.
Allegedly.
I'm going to. Oops. Well, apparently I'm not going to move me. Let me try that again. There we go. While that guy has his reaction moved, I'm going to try and move out of his stinger range and get eyes on Donnie. My light would come with me.
So you would know his stinger range is 15 feet.
Oh, well, okay, I was thinking it was 10, so I guess I don't get out of his stinger range and I don't get eyes on Donnie. I moved it again.
So Lou, just to clarify, when I was, oh, okay, that might work. I don't know if that was designed to move or not. That might have been beta. So
Every time I click my token, it selects that.
Gotcha.
Oh, sorry about that.
Did you say the North Shisuba was able to see me as I was flying by?
This one?
Yes.
Yeah, he was partially outside of the darkness by 5
Okay.
feet.
Well, I was hoping to clarify that when I had placed it down. So is it possible to have said that I put it here so that way he is entirely obscured by darkness?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, that is my intention. Make it so they can't see anything.
Okay. Although
So
now
when-
Theo
when-
can't see anything.
It's true.
Yeah. So when I moved my light, I was able to see Donnie. So, but I'm not sure if I'm in range of him. But I'm gonna throw out a mass. Oh darn it! I'll miss Donnie, unfortunately.
Alright, so...
Alright, so 19, let's see. So I think I'm actually in range of this guy. So I will use him as the 6th target.
Right now it looks like you're doing corner to corner
What's that?
instead of center to center. It looks like you're doing corner to
Yeah,
corner.
Donnie-
It says snap to center,
Donnie would be
There we
out of
go.
range for you, I believe, but...
which is what I just said.
Yeah.
But I wanted to do the dwarf instead.
Alright, so you're targeting the dwarf, Zalia, Theo? Or, no.
I'm missing
it's
something
only-
that says 60 feet, not 30. And I'm closer than 30
Is it
feet.
60? Oh, apologies. I was thinking of,
Mass cure.
I think healing word. Yeah.
Alright, so yeah,
Okay,
you can
yeah,
do
then
Donnie. You can do, I think, everyone but, like, Theo.
It's up to 6 targets.
I don't need it.
Yeah, but you're in the
Yeah, Theo
darkness,
and
so she
Haley-
can't see you.
Yeah.
But even though he was, the darkness just went up, and I know exactly where he was standing because I just stepped away from him. Or no?
It says choice that you can see for the spell.
Okay, that's
So
fine.
basically-
I don't think Theo and Zalia need it anyway. So
Yeah. So basically, yeah, you may have been targeting a moment ago, but as you're casting the spell, the darkness would probably go poof and obscure
Okay,
you,
so-
or you might curse up
So
it.
I think Theo would still get the 4 from the unicorn totem.
Yes, I believe so, because I don't think you have
Yeah.
to save for that one.
So I think it's 19. What is it?
So 7 and 5, 12.
22 for myself and Donnie and Beldani if Beldani's in range. Well, no, I can't see Beldani, so I guess just I'll give it to the little dwarf guy and Donnie and myself.
All right, so you said 22.
And I mean Zaylee, I think you only need a few hit points, but might as well take him.
All right, so healing engulfs all of them. Anything else?
I'm sorry, hold up. What is the total for me? There was 2 people
for-
talking at once.
Let's see. For you, are you on top of Zalia?
Yes.
Okay, so it'd be 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. It's 26 total for you.
Okay.
Wait, do I have that right? Yeah. 19,
Delightful.
21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Yeah, 26. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, for my action, I will shoot a. Let's go with a. Sacred Flame, I guess. That's this guy in front of me. Yeah.
So I don't think you could target him unless you could target things you can't see, because he is in the darkness.
Can I see this guy, or does the darkness keep me from seeing around it? Oh, he's dead.
Okay.
All right, I don't know. All right, I'm just. Yeah. Okay, I'll shoot this guy.
Alright, so you chant, throwing a sacred flame at one of the Tanaruk. He will attempt to DC, or he will attempt to make a dex save. Urgh.
Is that all your movement to get there?
He would roll.
I don't want to leave this guy's tail range and get smacked.
He's already used his reaction, and the other one's at disadvantage right now.
Neither
Oh.
of them can see you, so they can't actually
Yeah.
take copies.
Yeah,
You can
that's
only
why-
take
Oh,
copies on something.
in that case,
Run,
then,
Mason,
yeah.
run!
Yeah, in that case, yeah, I'll go the last 10 feet that I can.
So this guy is burned for 10. Oh. Caster! Anything else?
I'll see Beldani. All right, that's all I got. Sorry, that took so long, guys.
Zalia.
I guess I'm just gonna try to toll the dead. On the only one I can see, which is
Zalia has a very angry look on her face because she did
Wow.
not get her sleep.
I'm very, very yeah, she's not happy.
Why won't you
so
guys let me sleep? Alright, so Toll the Dead. Go ahead, give me a link. Nice. So you chant summoning necrotic energy at this one. He will make a Constitution save.
I'm picturing Zalia's hair all frizzled and like a sleep mask, like that's pulled up on her head, like just
totally
just
get her
up.
hair in curlers. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you say the save is for Toll the Dead?
Yeah.
Yes,
That's wisdom. Yeah.
So he would get a 13 and fail, taking 17 points of necrotic.
Okay. And I will back up a little bit more because feeling he's coming for me.
He seems very
Also-
upset.
Okay. Yeah, that's the end of my turn.
All right, Donnie.
Go ahead and take a swing at the guy above me.
All right, you swing up at the guy to the north of you, who has already used his reaction, luckily.
Let's go ahead and
Oh yeah, I
swing.
forget about that stupid counterattack. Fuck.
14 would be just enough.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So you connect, cutting him for 24 points. Oh.
Well, technically 9 points of damage. You don't combine those two. One is a one-handed, one is two-handed, and I'm
Oh, fair enough.
Oh yeah,
one worse with the two-handed. So it's 9 points of damage.
only 9.
Only 9. So I'm swinging two-handed, and even though technically it could be higher, the math did not come out that way.
True. Alright. So you strike him for 9, and then there's the second attack, right?
Nope, because second attack, and I'm not raging because I'm out. So no added bonuses.
Oh, a natural 1. Alright, so he would
Wait,
dodge.
Faitha, am I?
Nope, just out of
Nope.
range.
Bam. Okay.
Sorry.
So it goes.
Alright,
That's my turn.
Bell Donnie.
Get him.
All right, I'm going to step down here, attack with the dagger of Asiak.
Stab. Alright. 23 would indeed strike as you come up from behind, hitting him for 36, which drops him.
And I will grab a soul trinket as he dies and immediately crush it for use Whales of the Grave, do damage to the other one on the other side of Donnie.
Alright, go ahead and link Whales of the Grave.
For 8 damage to that other one.
Alright.
And that, actually, I will,
How many
use the
uses
rest
do you have left of Whales of the Grave, just out of curiosity?
I have 3 uses left, but that
Okay.
didn't require use because I crushed the soul trinket I created.
Alright.
Although that does mean I used my reaction to create the soul trinket, so.
Alright, so.
And that is the end of. Actually, I'm going to use my bonus action to move into flanking position with the dwarf. Use my bonus action to dash into position there, and that will be the end of my turn.
Alright, so you're not giving this guy an oppie, right?
Oh, actually, I wouldn't need to, because I could go here, and then I could go around to avoid giving him the oppie.
Okay. So Durhoth goes. He is going to get courage from the healing roar and swing at the Tanaruk. But the Tanaruk unfortunately would jump back, dodging the attack. Tinder goes. He's kind of out of things he wants to do, so he's gonna stop for now, which will immediately shift to the Horn Devil, who can see in the dark. And he is going to
Sweet baby Jesus.
stab at this guy with advantage. So he makes 3 melee attacks.
Is it regular darkness or magical darkness?
It's magical.
So he would strike 3 times for 31, dropping this guy, who as a reaction will take an attack on him with disadvantage. Crit. Ooh. Oh wait.
With disadvantage? I was like, Jesus.
No crit, but he would be struck for 24 points of damage. That is it for him. Theo, what are you gonna do? You cannot see anything, I assume.
Nope, not a magic darkness. Gonna activate my boots.
Alright.
One's not made for walking, and then
These boots were made for
5,
flying.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Ah, the demon's got Cordis. I'm gonna punch it in the face.
Oh, Cordis is dead.
Yeah, the demon's got him, as far as Theo knows.
Allegedly.
So you fly up and punch the Tanaruk, who luckily has used his reaction.
Superman
28
punch.
would strike. Bang. So he takes 7 points of damage.
Alright. And then fly. What was this? This was 30 to get to here.
35.
Yeah, so second.
I think.
No, 30 to get to here.
Okay.
Because I was
I was
able to
just
take
repeating
one
what you said.
diagonal for 5 feet. Yeah, I can't help Orbrow right now, so I'm gonna punch this one again.
Alright, you take a second punch. 17 would strike, doing another 5 points, and he is looking pretty beat up as he turns towards you, getting ready to counterattack.
Alright. That's it for me.
Alright, the Tanaruk go. This one is going to... Donnie is threatening him, so I think he's going to go for Donnie. He lunges at you with his greatsword, swiping 25 versus AC.
Just barely hits.
Alright, so you are slashed for 11, and then he bites at you with 14 versus AC, which I think barely hits as well.
Yeah, barely hits. Just ever so close.
Alright, so you take another 10, so 21 points of damage total. This one here, I think he's going to go for Theo, because you have your effect on him. So he swings his greatsword around, bringing it down on you with a slash 22 versus AC with the first.
Hit.
Clipping you for 6 damage as he bites at you. 17 versus AC.
Miss.
Alright, so you knock him back as his bite comes very close to you, but you keep him away. I think that's it for the Tanaruk. The Shusuva go. So he is in the darkness. He is going to... GTFO. He moves up this way. He's going to see Betha and roar as he comes at you.
Does that
Does,
provoke an Oppie from the Horned Devil?
That would, because he can see.
Oh.
Get him!
So he uses a reaction and forks. Would strike, as he does not have a very good AC. So he stabs him as he leaves the area, doing 8 points of piercing. Actually, let's see. Where did he move to? So he's gonna growl and kind of come over this way. And then, yes, he's gonna go for Betha, I think. Or wait. No, I think he's gonna go for Theo. Because Theo did...
Thunder.
Theo
I
did
punched him in
attack
the face.
him. Yeah. Alright, he's gonna go for you with the flank. He
Let's go.
does a bite attack first. 20 versus AC with the flank.
Hit.
So you are bit for 20 piercing. And then he's going to make a tail stinger attack. 11 becomes a 13, which I believe would miss you.
Correct.
And then he continues moving on up to here. That's it for the Shusuva. Ivor.
I am going to...
Oh, wait. I'm sorry, I forgot all about these guys.
Oh yeah, there's 2 of them over
There's
there.
2 more over there. Alright.
I know, well, Orbrow's okay with this.
This one's going to move here for the flank and go for Orbrow. So he bites and tail stingers, striking with the bite for 17 piercing. And a second bite and sting attack. Flank again, but he would keep that one back. He says, I don't know how much longer I can last. That is it for them. Ivor, now it's your turn.
Okay, good question. I think so. If I'm 30 feet up, 5. Yeah, okay. So. Alrighty, so I think that horizontally I have enough movement to move 5, 10, 20 feet into this square here. If I move 10 feet down, will I be in the darkness?
So that's
It's kind of it's a 15-foot radius from the ground, so I would assume so.
It's circular though, so the edges like over here might be more like 10 feet up instead of 15. Because it's like a sphere, it's not like a square.
Right. So, but you're saying it would be. Okay.
I'll say-
10 feet up. Now I'm 30 feet high. Yeah, I'll let you. I know that diagonals are so awkward. It's up to you.
Because the center is at 15. This one might be at 10. Actually, this one might be at 5 feet. Because it's at the very edge.
5 feet, like. Oh,
Like
off the
5
ground.
feet off the ground, yeah. Because you know, as it kind of gets smaller as it goes out.
Sure. So then, moving 20 feet into that space, I would not be able to get far enough down to get into the darkness. Is that your assertion?
So if you're at 30 feet, you'd probably need to go down 25. Right? Math. That sounds right.
Yeah. Well.
Triangles.
Yeah.
If he's going for the edge part, yeah, towards the center, I think. It'd be
Yep.
10 feet.
Here's what I'll do then for now. I'll move 5, 10, 20, 25, 30 feet, staying at a 30-foot elevation.
Okay.
And I will then cast... How much juice do I have? Okay. Yep, that is not concentration. Okay. 10-foot radius. Okay. Ba-ba-ba-bee. I will cast Flame Strike here. Requiring from those Shusuva a pair of dexterity saving throws.
Alright, go ahead and link it.
Yep. And first roll is going to be fire, second roll is going to be radiant.
Alright, so that is a dex save.
Very nice on the roll.
So you chance.
Well, on the fire, but I think... Oh, I mean, that is a nice roll, but I think that they don't care about fire as much. We'll find out.
So they would both fail, and indeed they take half fire damage. So that would be 10 and then another 14, right? Because fire was first.
Fire was first, that's correct.
Right, so 24 damage each as they are struck and burned with radiant and fire energy.
I'll take it.
Anything else?
No.
Alright, Betha.
Gonna try to continue to move north and west. She's still not sure. Actually, she'll probably call out. Anybody got Valdani? Does he need help? Because she hasn't got a glimpse of him yet. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20. So she'll go here. And, oh, she sees him now. Hey, he doesn't look so bad. All right, I'm going to use Channel Divinity, Preserve Life. So this is going to bring Orbrow to half HP, assuming 35 can do that. Let me know.
Yes. Well, he's still under half, but he can gain 35.
No, he can only gain up to 50%. So let me know how much is left of my 35 after he's at half.
That's all of it.
I think he's
that's
saying
all.
that it does not bring him to 50.
Oh, gotcha, perfect. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry,
he's
I
not.
apologize. I misunderstood.
He's still wounded after 35 healing.
He's a
All
big
right.
boy.
He's a big
And
boy.
that's an action. So now that I am...
Yes, thank you,
I see
small
Donnie-
one.
I see Donnie moving slower than I'm used to. I maybe don't fully know about the whole rage thing. I mean, I've seen him fight, and he's not fighting at his capacity. So I'm going to throw out another mass healing word here to try and help both Orbrow and Donnie.
He's oddly calm. All right.
Yeah. Alright. Another level 5. And unfortunately, neither of them will be in the totem. Alright, so that's 15, 16, 17. Alright, 22 for everyone within 60 feet of me. I'm not healing Zalia.
Yeah, and I think you can see them all now, so that would affect everyone.
Yeah, well, I can only do 6, and I want to do Orbrow, so I'm not healing. Well, I don't need it either, so actually, Zalia, take any few points you need.
Actually, I think that I'm out of range because I'm 30 feet up in the air, so if you need to...
Didn't we say it was 60?
It is, but I'm 40 feet from you and 30 feet above your head.
Yeah, because he's flying.
Are you in the darkness?
No, but
I'm
he's
just
flying
30 feet in the air.
up in the air.
All right, well, that's up to you, Lou. Is that within 60 feet of me?
Oh, math.
It is according to the Pythagorean theorem.
Yay!
It's 50 feet.
50 feet! Dope.
All right, so it's 22 for everyone but me, and then it's an additional 4, if needed, for Ivor, Theo, Zalia, or Brow because of the totem.
Dope.
Thank you.
That's my turn.
All right, Zalia. Are you muted, Zalia?
Sorry, I was muted. This guy here looks great.
He does not look wounded yet.
Okay. And I can't see anymore, but I'm just gonna hang on to that. Levitate.
Well, he is above the darkness right now, so you can still see him.
And I do have... My boots are kicking now. You've seen me fly around of my own volition.
Okay, so I'll drop the levitate.
Okay.
So I no longer need to concentrate on that.
Boot buddies.
Boot buddies!
Yes, I will. Yeah, I'm.
They're in a new fashion trend.
I'm gonna try to pull the dead on this one again. Can I see it, or do I need to move to get line of sight on it?
No, you can see him. He's got cover,
well,
but that doesn't matter for Toll the Dead. So he gets to make a wisdom save again. 14, I believe, would fail. So he would take 22 necrotic. Oh, and he is withered.
Nice. Okay. And then I'm gonna try to get away from stuff.
Alright, you fly up north there. Donnie. I assume you're done, right, Zalia?
I'm done, yes.
Donnie, what are you gonna do?
Donnie feels most comfortable when he's surrounded, so he goes 5, 10, steps on some dead bodies to here to kind of just get it. And it's like, stares at this Orbrow, kind of battling here. This is a lot of fun, isn't it? And just takes a swing at the I'm blanking on their names, the other orc.
Tanaruk. Alright, he is gonna
Tanaruk.
use his reaction to swing back. Oh,
Yeah.
advantage. But 14 would strike, and he gets a 24, which would strike you. So you deal 12 points.
Correct.
And he cuts you for 12 right back.
How nice of him.
Exchange of swings.
Well, let's do that again.
Alright, so you swing a
I
second
hit
time.
you. Yep.
Oh yeah,
You
23
hit me.
would cut him once again for another 11. Oh,
Yep.
and he looks wounded. Curse you.
And that is pretty much everything I can do.
Alright, Beldani.
Alright, I am going to attack the creature between me and the dwarf.
Alright, so you do have the flank. 24 would strike as you stab him with the dagger of Asiok, doing 37. Because he is not resistant to necrotic.
And I'm going to spend one of my whales from the grave without using a soul trinket to do damage to this one.
Okay.
The other one by the dwarf.
Alright. So you do another 9 to him. Anything else?
Nope, that is my turn.
Alright. Orbrow is looking a lot better. That last heal for 20-something actually put him out of wounded. So he is going to swing at, let's say, the wounded one. I got your back. No, he would miss, unfortunately, as the creature gets out of the way. I forget he does have a second attack. Alright, I'm using a different dice, because I cannot read that dice. Oh, yeah, that would strike as he cuts him with his battle axe for 11 points of damage. Oh. Although the creature still looks much more angry at Beldani. Tinder goes, and the Horned Devil will go. He is going to move over here and stab at this guy from the darkness, gaining advantage. So fork, and tail. He would strike with all 3 attacks, doing 52 points, and badly wounding that guy, who looks around and cannot see where the attacks came from. Theo.
I'm gonna punch that one.
Alright, so you take a punch at that guy. 26 does a nasty strike for 10 as the Shusuva growls and gets ready to counterattack. Second one, though? Or are you moving?
I'm gonna do some moving. Gonna go next to Orbrow.
Alright, he's gonna do a bite on you with a reaction, I think, right?
Alright.
So he snarls and snaps as you move out of bite range. But he would miss. Luckily, you dodge out of the way.
Woohoo! Punching the other one in the face. Get him!
Get him. Alright, 22 it strikes. You punch this other one for 11, gaining his attention as well. Anything else?
That would be it for me.
Alright, Tanaruk goes. He is gonna roar and once again bring his sword down on Donnie. Die, whelp! 26 would connect, slashing you for another 12 damage, and then he would chomp down. 24 would also connect for another 8, so 20 points of damage total. And Donnie is getting a little bit beat up. The Shusuva goes. This one, I think he's gonna actually snap at... I think he'll go for Theo, yeah. So he moves down this way, giving Betha... I don't think you have a weapon out, do you?
I do, actually. She carries her moonsicle as her focus, but I don't know that it matters because she has negative strength.
She's gonna reach.
Yeah.
But I'll try.
Sure, you can spend your reaction if you want to attack him.
Sure.
22 would strike.
Holy, wow.
So you cut him for 0. He takes
Hits but bounces off.
Huh?
Hits but bounces off.
Yeah, like, he doesn't even notice the attack.
If it wasn't
Like,
for
who gives a
the
shit?
plus modifier on the weapon.
Yeah.
I love it.
So this one is going to lunge at Theo, attempting I think he's... Let me check something. Yeah, I think he's actually going to attempt a shove attack with his bite. So he's going to slam into you, trying to knock you over. Give me strength or dex. Or, sorry, acrobatics or athletics.
Oh no, Betha, help! Oh wait, you use your reaction to attack. Shit!
That's
Panic.
true,
Sorry.
you did.
Oh, it's all good. Wait, I am flying though.
Oh, how high up are you?
I'm just above the ground, but technically flying.
I don't think that makes you immune to knockdown, though. He could still, like, smash into you and knock you over.
Yeah, for sure. You can definitely knock like a bird on the ground.
Unless you have something that would prevent that. So you would be knocked out of flight as he just rams into you, sending you flying to the ground, and he's going to take a tail attack on you at advantage. Stabby, stabby. 18, not the best roll.
Miss.
Alright. Oh, but he does have flank. Sorry, 20, that would strike.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a liar. 13 piercing, and I need a con save.
I believe in you.
Is it doing poison?
Yes. 16. Alright, so you would resist as you feel the poison coursing through your blood, and you only take the 13. The second one is going to roar and snap at you while you're on the ground as well. Arr. So, bite with flank, 23 with advantage, for 25 piercing. Oof, nasty hit. Tail Stinger is a 19 with flank and advantage.
That hits.
Alright, so you're stung again for another 14, so 25 and 14. And I need another con save, as they mess you up a bit. Alright, so unfortunately you are poisoned, which will paralyze you.
Gonna...
Go ahead.
Oh wait, that's only to damage. Absorb elements wouldn't help with that at all, would it?
No, not with poison. But the poison doesn't actually do damage. The poison paralyzes you as long as you remain poisoned. And you have the effect of poison where you have disadvantage on all your, attacks, I think.
Yeah, not that it matters if you're paralyzed also, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can make another save at the end of each of your turns to shake it. This one, or go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, alright.
Alright, this guy here is going to go for Beldani. He does a bite attack. 15, I assume, would miss you.
That misses.
19?
That is my armor class.
Alright, so
that would hit.
You take a tail stinger for 18 poison, or 18 piercing, sorry, and I need a con save. This is versus poison, if that matters.
I have advantage on all con saves while I have a soul trinket, so...
Alright.
Nice.
13 is not enough, unfortunately. And you would also be poisoned and paralyzed. As the poison courses through your veins. That's it for the Shusuva, though. Ivor.
I will drop down 30 feet into the heart of darkness.
Alright, you
And
disappear.
you do disappear. 6 scorching rays will shoot out of it at this Shusuva here.
Alright, you send 6 bolts of fire at that guy.
Oh, I hate that it does this way. Fucking it. Let me try this. Oh, it'll still let me do it? Maybe? Did that go? No. God damn it. Okay, hang on. 2, 3, 4.
I think they're all hits so far. Yeah, so you would strike with all of them.
Fuck 'em. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Alright, so you burn away at him as all this fire comes shooting out. What is that? So
Let me
11,
rack it up. So 11 plus
23,
12 plus 10 plus 5
33,
plus
38,
6
42,
plus 7.
49. Wait,
Oh,
51.
wow.
Did I do
Yeah.
that wrong? 11, 11 plus 12, 23, 33.
Plus 10
plus
plus 5 plus 6 plus 7. Yep.
38, 42.
51.
51.
Why do I keep getting 49 then?
I don't know.
Wait, 11 plus 12 is 23, right?
Yep.
Plus 10
Plus
is
10.
33. Plus
Yep.
5 is 38.
Yep.
Plus 6 is 40.
43.
44.
44. Okay, that's what I'm missing too. Alright, so. I just lost it.
51.
51. Alright, so he takes 25 damage. And he goes down.
Yeah. Fuck him.
Math is hard. Alright.
I'm going to use my reaction to create the soul trinket.
Alright, so you pull forth the essence of the creature that fell and create your little trinket. Looks like a Shadowlord thing to me. Betha, what are you gonna do?
Alright, I'm going to use lesser restoration via healing. Does that still count as casting? I think I ask this every time and I apologize.
Can you link the power?
Yeah.
Healing touch.
Yeah, you
It says when you cast. Or
Yeah,
you can
so it would cast
Okay,
as counting it, yeah.
Alright. I think it's still worth it, even though I wanted to do something else this turn. I will do lesser restoration on Theo.
Could you link it?
Yes.
So you channel energy through your healing touch, casting lesser restoration. So that is a touch spell.
Alright, I would move in then. I would hop up on here, so I think that's difficult terrain then.
Yeah, so that's
Alright, so
10.
that's 10, 15, 25.
You walk up to Theo, and so one disease or one condition. Are you removing the poisoned
poison.
or the paralyzed?
I thought the poison caused the paralyzed.
It does.
So I'd like to remove the poison.
Alright, so yes, that would remove the paralyzed as well.
Oh, thank you.
Tricky.
And that was, since that was action and spell cast, I apologize. Let me just see what my options are. Let's do, no, that's not gonna matter. Yeah, I think that's all I can do.
Alright, Zalia.
Okay. I guess I'll just go after this dude right here. Same thing till the dead.
Alright, so you chant releasing necrotic energy with the bong.
At this point, he has lost hit points, right?
Yes, he's definitely lost some hit points. So he gets a wisdom save.
Yes.
17.
That's the DC of the 17.
He would, yeah. So he would make it, but I think he takes half, right?
Yes, yes.
All right. So he is drained for 8 necrotic. He looks angrily at you.
That's the end of my turn.
Donnie.
Swinging up the Tanaruk next to me.
Oh, he would get his reaction back. I forgot to take it.
Yeah, I figured as much. Yeah, that's fine.
Although he's probably going to use it right now.
Yep. Fucking hell. I swear I have rolled like 2s and 3s this entire match.
Donnie also needs a nap. He's tired of all this combat. She never thought he'd
No,
hear
he's not.
himself say.
It's not so.
He is absolutely not saying that. You are a liar and a cheat.
Fair enough.
Story's full of holes.
So as Donnie just trips a little maybe as he swings, the creature would counterattack, slashing you for 15.
Okay.
Is that it for or second attack, right?
Yeah, second attack.
Axe is like, you gotta
That's
hit.
a little bit better.
You have to actually. There you go. There you go,
Fuck
orc.
off, Max.
Says, yeah, fuck
Good
off.
damage roll. Good damage roll.
So he is cut for another 16, and he is starting to slow a little as well, as you two are both cutting each other up really well. Donnie, you're done, right, Donnie?
Yeah. No, I'm going to just randomly run away.
So I think you are poisoned and paralyzed, right, Donnie?
I am.
So at the end of your turn, you can make another con save at advantage.
Didn't realize that.
Yes, so you would shake the poison, no longer under the effects. Orbrow would try to buy you some space, yelling, "Get off him!" as he swings his battle axe twice, cutting at this guy. He would strike twice, doing... Oh, max damage. 26 points of damage. Snarl. The creature turns back towards him. That is it for Orbrow. Tinder goes, and then the Horn Devil goes. He will come up this way, flying. And then come back down and stab at the Shusuva with his big pitchfork. So he would strike once and then hit him with the tail, stabbing him for 17 and 8, which is 25.
Those are with flank.
Yes.
Nice. Good.
But I don't think... Oh, he does do the Infernal Wound, I think, because this guy is not an undead or construct. So he has to make a con save because he actually hit with his tail. Finally. So con...
I think it might actually hit the other ones too, but they're dead now anyway.
25, so he would make it, resisting the Infernal Wound as the devil cackles. That's it for the Horn Devil. Theo.
At the moment, there's multiple allies around. Still, Theo needs a breather, so he's gonna press the button on his belt and vortex warp himself.
Alright. Link it.
Yep.
He poofs over to where Azalea is. He's punching out for a moment.
Oh, whoops.
Alright. So, yeah, some chanting, some verbal. Well, actually, yeah, I guess...
Well, yeah, this is spell storing item, so it's just press the button.
Boop. Alright. Alright, so you poof over to there. Anything else?
Half my movement to stand up.
The Tanaruk is going to go. He says, "It's time to fall," as he cuts at you, trying to finally bring you down. 17 versus AC, and a natural 1 on the bite. So he misses with the bite, but he would cut you for 8 slashing as he stumbles and almost falls over. Go ahead.
Nothing, sorry.
Alright, so Donnie stands firm, getting ready to attack again. The Shusuva go. This one is going to go for Orbrow. So he lunges, biting at him. Oh, he would strike twice, biting for 28. And then stabbing him for another 13. Luckily, Orbrow is immune to poison. But he's looking very wounded again. He says, finish the damn beast off! This one is going to lunge up at the devil. Once again, doing a bite and a tail sting. Hitting with the tail sting for 8, and the devil has to make a... Oh wait, can he be poisoned? Let me double check that. Immune to poison. Alright, so he cannot be poisoned. He laughs. Ha! Weak. That's it for the Shusuva. Ivor, what are you doing?
Alright, I'm gonna move 5, 10, 15. I'm gonna blast out this guy here.
Alright, so you send an Eldritch Blast at him. Striking 3 times. For 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 18. He is going to roar, take his reaction, and run towards you, giving Beldani an Oppie.
That's wild.
Okay.
Really provoked him. He didn't like your shenanigans.
Yeah, no kidding. Fuck.
Oh, sorry, not you.
Especially with as hard as Beldani hits.
Ooh, crit!
Get him!
Would this being a reaction to sneak attack go off?
Yeah, he would get sneak attack.
Oh.
Alright,
So
He says,
that's
fuck you,
a
and
total
Beldani says,
of
no, fuck you.
53 damage.
alright.
Love it.
He takes another 53. And he is going to snap at Ivor.
Hold on, he makes it that far?
Yes. Because he
Wild.
cannot actually die right now. Well, actually, he could die if he took a certain amount, but he has not taken that yet. So he bites at you with disadvantage. 18 versus AC.
Oh, yeah, that'll hit.
29 damage as he snaps at you, grabbing a hold of your leg, and then just falls over dead.
Okay. Now, for the purposes of a particular function, would this be considered reducing a hostile creature to 0 hit points?
Yes, because you did put him to 0 before he did his reaction.
Dope, thank you.
He just does the reaction as you put him to 0.
Sure.
Alright,
Was
so...
it Beldani that did that put him to 0?
No, Ivor put him to 0.
He was just at 0.
Oh, gotcha.
And then he got his reaction. And you need a concentration check, apparently.
In fact, I do. 8.
Oh.
Nope.
Ooh.
That's right. The moment has passed.
If only it could have been
Goodbye,
one.
darkness, my old friend.
It definitely did what it needed to do.
Betha. You have an angry, snarling
Alright.
dog, but he is biting at the demon right now.
Yeah.
Luckily, these things aren't the smartest.
Well, yeah, I just witnessed that one, like, very foolishly run away from Beldani's knives. Yeah, so she has pretty much learned these guys' range, and so she thinks it's pretty safe to get on over here and get out of the middle of things. And,
So this one will take a bite at you if you move away from it.
oh,
He hasn't
I
used his
thought you said
reaction
his-
yet.
I thought you said his range was 15. The last time I wouldn't move
His
for
tail
more than
is-
10, you said 15.
His
He
tail
has
is
several
15.
ranges.
He has variety.
Yeah, his bite is 5.
Okay, so really his threat range is 10, not 15, like I
Well,
originally
the
thought.
reason he
It's 5,
didn't
10,
do it,
and 15.
yeah, the reason
Got
he
it.
didn't do it before is because he was in darkness when you did that.
Okay.
So he can see you now. So if you move away, he will probably take an Oppie.
Is it 5 then that he'll take an Oppie, or 10 or 15?
He'll take an Oppie at 5 or 15.
Okay.
Because he
All right.
has
Well, then
two
she
different
won't move
ranges.
away. All right.
Jumps back up on the altar.
Let me think here. Oh gosh. Okay. I think that Orbrow might be in more danger than Donnie, but I don't really know. I'm not even sure these days. Okay, so I'm gonna run down here and I'm gonna pull out a big glob of stinging healing salve and bandage Orbrow.
Okay. You know, you can check HPs, right?
Yeah, but I can't check both of them, so I'm just
True.
gonna heal both of them. I don't know what Orbrow's hit die are, so it would be 8 plus his number of hit die.
All right. He's a ghost, but sure, you can. I don't know. You heal him somehow.
I slap this very corporeal bandage on your.
You know what? I'm gonna say sorry. I'm gonna say you can't heal him because he's weird. But you could heal
Okay.
Donnie if you want.
Wait, you can hurt
Alright,
him,
you're
not
saying I
heal him?
can't.
That's super
Are you
weird.
saying I can't do bandages and salve type of healing?
Yeah, bandages
Yeah.
and salves.
Well,
Exactly.
in that case, I would have done the 8 plus 11 on Donnie,
Okay.
and then I would have, before leaving, being next to Orbrow, I would
Sure.
have done a cure wounds.
All right. So Donnie gains 19, and you channel magic into Orbrow's spirit.
I'll do a level 2.
All right. Need your special spirit bandages for ghosts.
Apparently, let me know. I'll ask Chiron next time we see him how I make those.
So he is healed for 10, feeling a little bit better.
16. He's healed for
Sorry,
16.
16.
Actually, 20 because he's in the aura of the totem.
Sure. 20.
But and Ivor, if you need 4, you get that. But nobody else, I think, is in the aura.
What's it for?
And
All right.
heal.
Yeah,
Yes. Oh,
he
did you
said
say
he'll,
what's it for?
he said
Oh,
he'll
okay,
take
got it.
4, yeah.
And then she'll like run up here, but not leave the threat range.
Okay.
That's all.
Zalia.
So, do I think this big hunk of horny whatever is Tinder?
Ivor's down there.
This guy? The devil seems to be on your side, at least so far.
No, I know he's on our side, but do I think it's Tinder?
Oh, you're not sure.
I mean, he just popped into existence, right? He didn't like pop in as Tinder and then change.
Yeah, you didn't
Yeah, he was
see.
just there.
You just saw him appear. You didn't see Tinder turn into him.
Well, then I'm gonna give him some side eye, and I'm gonna attack this one down.
All right. So you are tolling the dead.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Oh, leave me alone. Whoa, that is. All right.
terrible.
Terrible. So he. Oh, well, he would make it. So he takes 3.
Nailed it.
Surprised he made that. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. So he is slightly.
Sitting in my feet. That's what.
Yeah. He's slightly melted. Donnie.
Alright, took a second to find the unmute button. You can take one wild guess what Donnie's going to try to do.
Yep.
Kill him.
Run away.
Run away.
Hey,
Brave Sir Robin.
So he will swing back. Oh, well, you definitely hit
finally
him.
got a high roll, and he'll swing back at me.
Oh, yeah. Advantage, so he hits you for 13, and you hit him for 11, right?
Why does he have advantage?
Because it
That's
is
just
a
what he
reaction.
Oh, okay.
So he takes
Fair enough.
11. Yeah, when he does the reaction attack, it's at advantage because of his ability.
Gotcha. You said 13 to me, right?
Yeah, and you cut into him, and then you swing a second time and
Yep.
slash again. I think you two have the exact same AC. It's basically just been
fun.
like you fighting yourself this whole battle.
Just slashing into each other. Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
work
If
on
Donnie
orc
went with
violence here.
Orcus instead of Tyr.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, Bill.
14 points of damage.
All right, yeah. So he is very wounded, but he's barely hanging on. Beldani.
One of you kill him, I will be pissed.
He's
All right, challenge accepted.
So, are you saying I shouldn't kill him right now?
Pretty much
Yes.
like asking, like, I mean, they might have killed him anyway, but now, you know,
You're
we're
a
all
dog.
Now I'm gonna kill him.
I mean, even Faith is going to take a swing at him now.
15,
Go kill the dog.
Of course, we're gonna kill the dog. What's wrong with you?
20.
Donnie's making
Oh,
a
we
lot
can
of
make it
demands
there.
I'm
here.
gonna move there. And I am going to attack the Shasuva.
Where are you going, Donnie?
It's
not your turn.
It's not your turn. I saw that.
It's not your turn.
Movement.
Oh, did you do that on your turn? All right, fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Getting the okay.
25 would
Like literally
strike.
his turn, and you're like, "We're moving on. It's not your turn."
It's not his turn. His turn passed.
For 27 damage.
All right. So yeah, you would strike him, stabbing him for 27.
And I will crush a soul trinket.
The creature snarls.
Do 3d6 damage to
Uh-oh.
the...
Get him. Get him.
Uh-oh. Donnie's giving you side eye. He's giving you side eye.
13. Sorry,
I
Donnie.
hate you all.
No, Donnie's just out for blood. He wants to kill everything.
So when the dog, he meant the little guy, not the big guy.
Oh.
I was thinking of the guys with like.
He did say,
jowls
"Don't
and
kill the
tails
dog."
and pointy
Those were his
ears.
exact words.
I'm going to use my reaction to create a soul trinket from the Tanaruk.
All right. So you once again use your reaction to get a soul trinket. Is that it for you?
That is my turn.
All right, Durhoth. He says, "Well struck." And he's gonna come over here, jumping on some chairs and swing. Ha! Die, beast. He will strike with one of his swings, cutting for 8 points of damage. Not a very good swing. And ready for the counterattack. The Horn Devil goes. He is going to look suddenly over here and say something infernal.
What does he say?
will-
Or you can message me if you
I'll
want.
whisper it.
Dun dun.
Is your
I really
name
need to
Ivor
give a side
question
crystal.
mark?
It is Ivor question mark.
I was like, why is... Alright.
It's hold on. I'll change it.
So he would say that, and then he would disappear.
All right, there we go. I've changed it to Ivor allegedly.
Ivor, allegedly. So Theo, what are you going to do? The demon did not attack. He just said something in Infernal and vanished.
So I saw it look off in the direction and say something.
It pointed at the wall over here and said something very forcefully and then disappeared.
Ivor, I hope there's a translation. And then use my action to drink a healing potion.
Alright. So you pull a healing potion off of your belt as an item interaction, and then quickly quaff it. Gaining 6 hit points.
Welcome
Brutal.
to my diary.
Anything else?
Oh, just make sure I'm between the demon and Z.
Okay. Theo goes, or went, the Shusuva go. It roars angrily and turns towards Beldani, thrashing and slashing. Arr. So he bites at you. Oh, crit. Oof. Sorry, Beldani.
All right.
You take 58 points of damage as he snarls and bites into you.
That's piercing damage.
Yes. A nasty blow. 20 versus AC on the tail. Apparently he's fed up with you.
Would hit.
Alright, so he stings you for another 19. And I need a con save. Ooh, Beldani just went from fine to ow. So you make the con save and you are not poisoned. That's it for the Shusuva. Ivor.
I will move 5, 10, 15, 25 feet, getting the flank with Betha, and I will attempt to slash it with my claws.
26 wood strike, allegedly. 22 acid damage.
Allegedly.
Jeez. Acid. Okay, yeah. He would take 22 and he would be very wounded. Anything else? Arr.
I will just snarl at him fiendishly.
All right, Betha.
I'll also grin. I'm very pleased with myself.
That was quite a fiendish attack.
Yeah, I think he hit Beldani for like 77.
Jesus.
Something like that, yes.
Betha, if you are speaking, we believe you are muted.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Sorry. All right, I moved my totem, and then I'm going to do a level 4 mass healing word.
Sickle. Oh, I guess that's fine too.
You thought I was going to attack with my moonsicle?
I mean, you might actually kill him. He's very low.
Except that I have -2.
So 12 plus 4, 16 plus 6 is 22, right?
Yeah, 22. Well, actually, everyone's in the totem. So it's 26 for everyone with the extra for Betha, which she doesn't need. Yeah.
All right,
And
26 healing.
actually, yeah, so in fact, I wouldn't even target myself. I would have put Orbrow in as the 6th, yeah. But I think there's a couple of us that don't need it and several of us that do, so.
All right.
Oh, thank you.
So he feels a little bit better. That's it for Betha. Zalia. Right, that's it for you, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I moved the totem, so yeah.
Zalia, what are you doing?
Told the damn dog.
Get him.
Hold the
All right.
dog.
Get him with that sweet 3 again. I'm kidding.
So he does a wisdom save.
Wild.
12 would fail. He takes 24 damage. It's going to roar and rush towards Zalia, giving oppies.
Ooh.
I will. You can use your opportunity. Well, I'm probably not going to be very good at it anyway.
I'll try
But
to
can I use
grab
my
him.
Yep.
Can you kill a
I'll
dead
save
thing?
you, Zalia.
Yeah, maybe if you stab it again while it's running, maybe it doesn't get its attack. I don't know.
No, it for sure did, because that's what Beldani did last time.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But if you can prevent movement, it can't get to her. So go ahead, give me a grapple
Oh.
check.
Yeah,
Although
the
it'll
only-
probably then turn around and bite you, but
It might not even. It's just gonna fucking throw me off. It doesn't care.
He's gonna drag you across the room.
Here we go.
Any points he can earn with Zalia, though.
I'm fit.
There you
I'm
go.
not strong. Okay.
so you got a 4, huh? All right.
Please
I
tell me
definitely
it dragged
tried to
him with
grab
it.
him.
I'll save you, Zalia. Why is it not rolling? Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, he's like whatever. He just keeps running. You grab some hair and it just rips out.
Just rip his fucking.
Go! So I'll say that.
I don't know. Maybe Shuva hair is like a valuable, reagent.
Maybe
It's as much a petting of the dog as it is a grabbing of the dog.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
probably more of a petting. He's like, oh, good boy.
maybe Orbrow's gonna grab him. You don't know. We don't know.
Oh yeah, Orbrow got an oppie.
Yeah, I don't think
No.
Orbrow is thinking about grabbing though.
Yeah, bro.
Gotcha.
He probably doesn't know as much about this thing. He does get a hit, which doesn't really matter. Zalia, 21 versus AC.
Shield.
Alright, so as he's about to jump on you, you throw up a shield as your reaction, deflecting him, and he would fall over dead.
And then
You
I
still got
will,
tons of spell slots. What are you talking about?
I have 3 level 1s. And now I have 2.
Damage with that.
And I will promptly faint, actually.
Going to sleep. I don't care.
It's
Alright,
very
so
dramatic.
the battle is won. All the demons and the devils are gone. The demons are dead. And what's the group gonna do?
There's one devil left. Where'd he go?
No, Donnie, we're killing the demons, not the devils.
Killing demons, not the
Kill
devils.
them both.
I resent that.
Well, not you yet, but what about that other fiend that just ran away from here?
That fiend was actually a friend. He was here to help, and he has done his job.
Did he not notice him stabbing the demons?
I noticed him, but it was a...
No, that was him in Ivor's mind.
Yeah. Okay.
Betha starts poking salve into Beldani's wounds.
No, she's putting it in there.
All right, so you do some healing. Yes, you trying to talk to Tinder? Sorry.
What? Oh yeah, you answered the question for me when he responded.
Oh, okay.
I just want to know if he was here. But if he said something to me, then that answers the
Yes.
question.
Yeah, he would have answered.
Right.
So yeah, what do you all want to do? It's probably about 2 a.m. still. Things are quiet.
I think we should return immediately to the safer space behind the traps.
Well, first, why don't we speak
Mm.
to our dwarven friend, find out what we can about
Can we take him with
the
us?
Bodak.
Why are you
worry
still
about
all
all the
okay with
vendors.
this devil and fiends and you're allying yourself
all
with
the noise
followers of
we've made.
Orcus?
Actually, why not? The devil has no relationship to Orcus.
How do you know that?
Sorry, what was that?
How do you know that?
Because he's a devil, not a demon.
Makes sense.
Anyway, that's a conversation for a later time, perhaps.
So,
I think the more pressing
Orbrow,
issue is the situation with Orbrow. Yes.
yeah, he seems very tired. He is kind of
I
trying to
would-
catch his breath. Or go ahead.
I'm going to expend another trap channel divinity. I know it won't give him too much, but whatever I can, out of 35 up to his
So
50%.
he
might
would
get the whole thing again.
he would thank you as he kind of walks over to the fallen Bodak. A bit of sadness in his eyes as he looks over Cordis. He says, "You're in a better place now, son. I'm sorry
And I
you had
would-
to come to this."
I would be looking at this other dwarf lady, and I'm
She
sorry
would have-
I wasn't here
She would have
quickly enough
disappeared. Her
to help
body isn't
them.
actually
Oh,
there.
so I didn't even know she was part of the fight then. Okay. As a player, I was really upset. I couldn't even get into this room before she was gone.
Yeah.
I would pick Zaylee up and carry her over to one of the benches.
So
Okay.
Orbrow would. Oh, do you pick up her sleeping form and put her over there?
Yeah, it's put her on the bench and then
Sleeping,
start
I'm just
grabbing
Alright. Just fainting.
Cordis's. Yeah,
Uh,
I'd probably try and gather Cordis into the bag of holding if possible, so I can give him a proper burial later too.
So Orbrow would sort of look at you all and say, "You've cleansed this place of the evil by slaying Cordis. The demons should no longer be a part of this place."
This introduces so many questions, and not the least of which is, well, I have two primarily. First, how do you know that Cordis was the source of all this? And B, why is he the source of all this?
He says he was corrupted many cycles ago when our people took refuge here during the cataclysms. His actions led to the death of all who lived within this temple, and when it was reopened by the dwarves later, the forces of Orcus escaped once again to attack the halls of Tarsus. They were driven back by the dwarves at the time, and this place was resealed. But Cordis remained outside and recently came back to reawaken the dangers within.
He genuinely seemed confused on the demons popping up and was trying to help us, at least loosely, deal with the problem. He did seem
Either-
truly regretful.
He says,
Either that or he is a very good liar.
He says, I don't know if he...
understand. Why would the demons kill him if he was controlling them?
They didn't. We did.
Yeah, the demons didn't attack him.
I know
But
that.
she
He doesn't
didn't know
know
that.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Are you saying that to him?
Yeah, well, everyone.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, when you say that, I'll say the demons did not kill Cordis. Beldani and Donnie and myself did.
Why?
Well, that's a
Told you
good
from the
question.
start, he's a follower of Orcus. You guys didn't listen to me.
Well, and he when he attacked Orbrow's companion, the demons appeared and attacked her as well, so it was clear that he was responsible for the demons arriving, regardless of what he had said to us prior.
Or perhaps regardless of whether or not he even intended to. I don't know if he meant them to show up or if they just did, but in any case, he certainly was the anchor to their existence here.
He would nod. He says, I don't know if my son meant to summon the evil back, but his connection to Orcus could not be severed. It's tragic, but the only way to save this place was to bring about his death.
But what about the dragon? I don't understand.
It's possible that the dragon did not exist, as was stated by Donnie, or rather, Donnie's friend, through him. Telekaru may not have had a play in this at all.
And
That may have been a
Holland?
Telekaru from ages ago.
Could I make a Arcana check on if Cordis could keep Telekaru around, or if that would have to be a phylactery type situation?
So you, what's the question? If he could keep him around? What do you mean?
We're under the assumption that the dragon's being kept alive through like means, phylactery, stuff like that. Could Cordis's whatever was summoning the demons also be tied towards keeping Telekaru around, or would it have to be something else?
Well, truth be told, yeah, the only reason that we thought he was around is because we found him down here. So the only time that we've seen him since you guys dispatched him was in this temple. But before he got taken by Hollow Hand, Dumax told Donnie that that was not Telekaru at all.
Yeah, and Telekaru's body from where we fought him before had disappeared.
I don't understand how Hollow Hand
Didn't
didn't see us with Hollow Hand.
So as you're speaking, you would see him begin to fade, and he says, I think my time has finally come. Thank you, friends. And he would vanish.
What?
Mm.
I'm gonna rub my temples.
What is the black circle that's the black aura that's in here?
That's the Bodak.
Yeah, that was the
Oh.
Bodak's death aura. It's not up anymore.
His body should be in the bag of holding by now.
While you are talking to Orbrow, Betha did use her last level 3 slot to cast Aura of Vitality, and there's some healing in the chat for some folks. Just in case we counter something before we get back to safety.
A question, seeing as how we're back in this room again, there is a door behind that statue.
In fact, there is.
But we still need to find the lever. Didn't you say you felt it was elsewhere in the dungeon?
We did find it. Exactly one lever.
Oh, we did?
Find a lever and we did flip it, but that was tied towards the gate.
Oh, there was
We could check and see if it was perhaps related to this door as well.
Is the fun little teleporter still active? That does save us a little bit of trekking through halls.
I think it's down because he had to use his concentration. Well, no, actually it would still be up because he didn't actually concentrate on the demon.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So yeah, it's still there for the time being. He says it's not going to last much longer if you wish to use it. He would say that to you.
Let us go and rest. We can place in the morning.
I agree with the professor.
The morning. It's morning now, you buggers.
It's the middle of the night, Beta. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Ish.
So you're headed back to the room?
In the morning. You just said in the morning.
Yeah.
Did you say you took Cordis's body?
Yeah, Theo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
And you said the other dwarf just dissipated? Not the, I know Orbrow did, but the female dwarf.
Yep.
That
I don't
was
think you
battle?
ever saw her. Yep.
She was destroyed.
Well, I didn't.
you think.
I'm asking as a player. I was just, there's nothing left.
Correct.
Okay. Gotcha.
Alright, so I'm just going to move you all back there. You don't have to actually move. That's fine. So you would go back to the room. Oh, Nettle's still just sitting here. He's just...
Nettle was in the other room with us. Yeah. He was down at the south.
I think I dragged him down twice.
Alright, well, you'd go back to the room and continue resting. Or
start over?
No, it would. You didn't do an hour of strenuous work. You wouldn't lose the rest. That's only short rest that you can lose for stuff like that.
Okay.
Would I be
Cool.
able to potentially do a detect magic on Cordis's corpse during the rest, or would that be too strenuous?
What watch are you?
Last watch.
Alright, so
Or
we could say
potentially,
you, go ahead.
potentially no watch. If he needed to sacrifice a watch to make it happen, that is an option.
Because you need a certain amount of sleep, which you can do your watch and then get to sleep. But if your last watch, you could say you did that during your watch.
All right.
Yeah, but I think Ivor's pointing out that Ivor's up all the watches, so Theo could potentially forego his.
Theo's
and someone
definitely
else-
taking a watch with Ivor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are we on the map?
Got some
Uh,
questions.
We're not. He
You
took us
are-
off, but he didn't take us on. So
yeah, you can
put
pull
yourself
yourselves back in the room.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I should have mentioned that. I just didn't want you to have to trek all the way through the walls and everything. I'll just say you got back there.
Kill us in the battle, so he just wiped us from existence.
Yeah. So the watch is passing. Is anyone talking to anyone, or are you just all going back to bed?
I'm not talking to him.
Zali is done with this crap.
Definitely go right back to sleep and do some snoring.
Wait, switch spots with me, Ivor.
Well, yeah,
I can't go on that one.
Well, you could. It would be a funny time.
No, I'm not staying dumb while I'm watching.
All right, let me just check something. You would finish your watch, and you would all, or finish your rest, and you would all level up.
Wait, really?
Yeah, level 12.
I mean, I'm not
Oh,
gonna say no to
shit!
that.
Oh!
That's gonna take me about 6 seconds, so you worry.
Okay.
Heavy breathing. This is such a monumental occasion for me.
I fear the future.
My crossbow comes back on, and I can do this.
Oh man,
No idea what you said.
I'm so happy.
All right, so I read the book, Azalea, right? So I could go.
Read the book?
Yeah, I had the intelligence book.
Oh, I think so. In the
Yeah.
in the lab, right?
Yeah, I did, because we sent it to Steely. So.
Or was it the wisdom book?
No, the wisdom book was Adeline.
You get it. What is with you in books?
What a book.
I call shenanigans.
So, on one hand, my plan was to take all the rest of the levels in Cleric, but then on the other hand, if I took 2 more levels in Shepherd Druid, then the beasties that Donnie wants me to call, the bearers that he wants me to call to fight beside him, would be magical attacks. Is that worth it?
It's up to Donnie.
Play her how you want to. It's entirely up to you.
Do any of you need the books to level up, or are
I'm-
you all using Roll20? Or,
I'm
Beyond?
totally just kidding. I was just looking to see if there was any reason for me to take any more levels in Druid, but there isn't any strong reasons for her build. So as cool as it would be for my summoned bears to have magical attacks.
So it is now morning. 8 a.m. As I said, night passed without issue. What do you all want to do?
I think Theo said that he specifically wanted to take a watch with me. I don't know if that was because
We
he
can-
had specific RP intentions. Oh yeah, we can chat that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what I want to do.
To choose my spells. Can we take a quick break, Blue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
I
think.
have to decide what feat to take.
Yeah, that's a good time for a break.
Well, you said Ivor and Theo want to do a little RP.
Yeah,
We
might
can
just do it in
chat
Discord.
stuff.
Yeah, we've done that before.
Okay.
That'll work. I said it was going to take me 6 seconds, but now I'm having second thoughts.
So, Donnie, your axe would be speaking to you in your mind as well.
Ooh.
Gotta check and see if I get any more spell slots.
Indy or Rosie?
Spells known.
I guess I might take Warcaster. I don't know. It's kind of boring, but it's also so useful.
Warcaster's always good.
Especially now that her spell save DC is 19.
That's a fun
19. Oh yeah,
Well,
'cause you got the
with
fucking
that amulet, yeah.
Damn.
Shadowlord Stride?
Oh yeah, dude.
I just got that. More of my fire buddy influencing me.
Done. Yeah, fire buddy just got real toasty.
It was gonna be that or protection from energy.
That one's a little. I mean, it's good, but it's also like super situational.
Oh yeah, it'd only be a throw it onto Donnie, but I have other things to throw it on that'd be better.
Yeah.
Too bad I can't put that on Donnie. Shadowlord Stride.
Oh wow!
Be fucking
I can
wild.
now do radiant damage in addition
right
to
back.
any of my cantrip or weapon attack damages.
Was that Blessed
Oh,
Strikes?
I guess it's only once. I guess it's only once per
Once
turn.
per
But
turn.
still,
Yeah.
when we need radiant damage, that's nice to know.
Depending on your subclass, you may have a feature that overwrites that with like some other damage. I don't know what you are, but
Yeah, it's either Blessed Strikes or Divine Strike or Potent Spellcasting, which the other two don't apply to Betha, so
right.
that's why I was reading it. She doesn't attack very often, but she does occasionally throw out a cantrip, and so knowing that it's going to be the cantrip damage plus radiant damage is kind of nice. Especially when we have to put down, vampires or something. Yeah, I'm entirely decided on my feet. It'll probably be Warcaster, but I kind of want to read through them all. And
Oh, ignore that.
it's always nice to give yourself a new bonus action or reaction, or it's always nice to get little things,
I know we might take silvery barbs for that reason.
But then again, when I use my reaction, that's of course the round that you guys decide to roll on that one.
Yeah.
So maybe that's not a good idea for me to have extra reactions. I was originally planning to take Cook, but I think that would have been more useful at lower levels, and I think it's just not as important now. That was in my original build for Betha that I intended to take Cook at some point.
Are you still concentrating on your spells, Zalia?
Yeah, so half concentrating. Why do you have a question?
Yeah, I was gonna comment to you basically saying, quietly in the corner here. Why do you still trust this devil and Infernal?
Are you speaking of Ivor, Donny? Or Tinder?
Both. I don't draw a distinction now.
Well, to be quite frank with you, I'm not sure that I do.
Want me to smash him?
No, I don't. Thank you.
Max doesn't trust him either. And he was right about Telerock.
Zorak said something about Ivor.
Not so much about Ivor. More like they're not trustworthy.
I think he's proven that. I don't know. I think we need to get home and possibly have some conversations about it, but I just don't know. Does
Also, not sure. Go ahead.
Does Drax trust Tinder?
No, I mean, he not trust Tinder more than he not trust Ivor.
I'm not sure that I
I not
him.
trust either. Also, not sure this place is done yet.
That's what I was going
Something's
to
still
ask.
not right.
Does
Huh?
Zorak think this place is really empty?
Axe says something's still off about this place. Maybe need to go smash more statues.
Well, let's not blow anything up now that your horn is gone.
Not the horn.
Not the horn.
I not trust those devils. That's all I gotta say. And Dumax was right about Telerock, so I kind of trust him more than I trust this new friend of Ivor's. Way more.
Are you the only two hearing this conversation?
From where you are, you would probably hear it, but I'm being deliberately trying to avoid Ivor and Theo hearing it on their watch on the outside.
Most likely, Beldani and Betha both hear it because of their super hearing.
Do you mean telecom?
Yes.
Down over there. I'm trying to sleep.
Oh, this is in the morning, I think.
Yeah, well, it's
okay, never mind.
Yeah.
She's grumpily preparing breakfast.
I think
like she didn't get any sleep or something, but she did.
Theo and Ivor, are you still outside the room in the morning?
It was my understanding that you had said earlier that Dumax was talking to Donnie during the night, so I assumed that this was happening during his watch.
Oh, no, this talking would be in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, this would be earlier in the morning.
Yeah,
but again, I wouldn't be doing it if you guys were in easy earshot either.
Sure. I would say that, like, whether it is the middle of the night or not, Ivor is, I mean, as long as everybody is still in there, sort of like taking it easy and taking a load off, Ivor would have no problem being out here and making sure that we don't get surprised while we're awake.
Yeah.
Even though, no reason necessarily to be in there unless called for.
He's kind of just on guard. And the door is probably closed unless you wanted to all leave it open.
Closed would be probably correct.
Yeah. So, Theo, would you be inside right now, or would you be hanging out outside with Ivor?
I'm hanging out with Ivor and ritual casting Detect Magic to see if there's anything coming off of Cordis.
Alright, so yeah, with the door closed, you probably wouldn't hear any of this. But
you have Tinder in there listening?
I could, but no.
Tinder is...
that's Theo asking Ivor.
Oh,
right.
I assume, unless you told him to, he's with you right now, Ivor.
That's my assumption.
Yeah. So, casting Detect Magic, you would not see any auras on the dead Bodak.
No signs that there might be a curse still attached to it, or...
No, there's no magic on him.
Alright, so if he was the source of all this, it should be dispelled. Still want to take it back to a church and have it, like, blessed and purified and all that jazz.
Indeed. No reason not to.
that and bury him with his dad. Give him something at least.
Do we even know where his dad is buried?
His dad's in my bag too.
Oh, that's right. I thought we would pick those up.
Yeah, I got the whole family.
The bones, yeah. You're collecting
Collecting
more
them all.
bones.
Oh gosh.
I'm very curious about that other spirit that we encountered. She seemed to be quite close with the father.
Could be an ex of Cordis, could be sibling.
How old did she look, DM?
She looked like she was probably more Orbrow's age, the father.
Yeah. Okay. Then in response I'll say, perhaps an ex-girlfriend. More likely the mother, maybe?
Or stepmom.
Or stepmom, yeah.
That does usually.
Theo
Cause
must have had a
problems.
stepmom because he's obsessed with stepmoms.
I mean, Faith, I know Faith was the one that guessed that last week.
Stepmom, what are you doing?
No,
Man.
it's Ivor and Zaylee would probably know that he does have a stepmom.
Dope.
All right.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Should I take legend lore?
Ooh.
That is up to you. Do I,
I mean,
think
there's
that it
still
would be
things we don't
beneficial
know
to
about
us?
If you're
Dominic
asking
and
for
Shadowstrider,
input,
right?
I think it
Yeah,
does
we
have
don't
a very
know.
expensive ingredient, though, right?
It does. It's like 500 gold a pop. But
Aren't we
250.
kind of rolling in gold?
Is it 250? You might be right.
Yeah.
we do have two things that we need
Got a shit ton of money.
Those are the
to use
1%.
on. And man, I still need plate armor, and that shit's expensive, and that's just base iron. But
I could get like skills empowerment or telekinesis.
telekinesis or teleportation would be awesome.
I
Or
have
we could know what
teleportation.
Dumbax is.
Teleportation.
I have teleportation.
Trains!
Teleportation isn't available to me till next turn. I also have contingency.
There
I
are
think
some
I'm
good
gonna-
ones.
Skill empowerment.
I just looked up Legend lore, and I'm sure you didn't intend it or realize it, Lou, but the example is a magic axe in the spell text.
There you go.
Classic.
Reveal your secrets, dumbax. No.
Theo, are you able to create a poisoner's kit from your tools?
Is it an artisan tool?
I don't think it is.
I know I can't make like herbalist kit because that's not a artisan tool. Poisoner's kit might be the same.
I don't
would
think.
assume
Question.
Yeah.
Belle, do you have a spare hand crossbow?
I do not.
Damn. Can I borrow yours for a little bit?
And your walloping bolts.
And your
No, I don't need those. It's okay if not. We'll get one once
Yeah.
we get back up to the surface in a month or two.
In a month or two.
I was going to say, I need a poisoner's kit, so I would like to go somewhere where shopping can happen.
Yeah, we need to go back to town for sure.
It's
We
just
do-
above us. Let's just go. Let's just leave this place.
So, demons were still. Are we all together at this point?
I would
Yeah,
assume that
it's
I'm
some
still
way.
outside.
All right, so we're eating our rations and stuff like that. Or we already did that whenever we started the long rest, didn't we?
Yeah, so I assume unless Baith is casting Goodberry, you would have used your rations.
I
last
forgot
night.
to say anything about it. She
Right.
did have spell slots
Yeah,
left, but I
mark
forgot
off
to
today's
say.
rations. We had already marked them off last night, actually. I
Yeah,
think.
because usually before the rest starts is when you eat.
Yeah, Zoe
Right.
so she'll eat it.
Oh, so then, I mean, I had spell slots left, so if we want to say that she cast it, then that's fine. Because I had planned to, like, I had cast them, and then we cast them before we went to sleep, so I guess she would have already expended those slots.
All right.
I don't know.
What do you all want to do?
So if you guys do have those good berries, they're good for another 16 hours, and they're worth 8 HP each, besides, like, what you eat for dinner.
There's so much curious so many questions I still have about this place. I think we should do a little bit of a turnabout to make sure that, and also look to see if we can open that door before we go.
So-
but
There were still demons around after Cordis died. It might be that we stopped more demons from popping up. There might be something else causing them to pop up. We might just need to go through and make sure everything's cleared of demons.
Yes, and the dwarf might have been mistaken.
Maybe.
Still more relics of Orcus that are worth destroying.
We do still need to figure out what the sentience was that caused the time mist stuff and potentially is involved in this.
I'm gonna cast mage armor as per usual.
All right, so mark it on the timed hourly spell effects thing. As you cast.
Can I just do it?
Can you just what?
What time is it? I just do it every morning. What time is it now?
So it is currently 8 a.m. when you woke up. So if you want to cast it now, it would last for 8 hours, which I think would put you at 4 o'clock in the afternoon is when it would poof out.
Yeah, that's fine. I always kept.
Okay.
All right. Shall we go? I'd really like to get through this place quickly.
Agreed.
Yes.
The door opens.
Definitely need to go buy a hand crossbow.
All right. So you.
If you
open-
want mine for now, you're welcome to it, Theo.
Oh,
Please, dear Lord, yes.
Theo, I believe I have one. Oh no.
Hey.
A hand crossbow?
No.
Okay.
I just realized, guys, with that Blessed Strikes like functionality, she actually can take copies with the Moon Sickle now and do radiant damage.
Oh, that's funny.
Nice.
I do have a light crossbow if you want it. Beldani, to replace your hand.
That's okay. No, thank you.
Okay.
I'll also give you my 16 crossbow bolts, Theo.
Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna hold on to my radiant bolts.
Yeah, save a couple of those because I want to reverse engineer them and start making more for you. Oh, so many feats just came online.
Yeah, I haven't decided on my feet yet either. Other than that, I'm leveled up, but I'm still debating.
Okay. So we have to get out of here.
All right. So I'll just say that you can move through the hallway.
Can we do a party token, or are we doing everybody?
I'd prefer to have my own token.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
I don't always want to be.
Did we gather up
Okay,
the gold?
we told Theo to stay
we
back
dumped
and
it
press
in
the button.
portable hole.
Yeah, I'll
Like
say
that
someone
button.
at the end pushes the button and then goes.
I'm staying back.
Definitely Theo. Theo can definitely stay in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Just push the button. It could be Tinder as well.
Oh no, I'm pushing the button. Donnie
Where's my
insists on it.
torch? My
You can be
torch
the button
isn't
guy.
here. Okay, hang on.
Alright, so the button is pushed. You all go through the hallway, helping each other get past the 2 remaining traps, and you are back out in the hallway.
Donnie, just
Remind me,
in case.
what was over here? What was in this corner? I don't think we ever fully explored it. least I
Beldani went over that way. Oh, hang on, Donnie. As you
you're-
run down the hall, there's a bunch of clicks, and I need some saving throws.
Donnie.
This is an effect I can see.
No. Surprise, motherfucker.
The ceiling comes slamming down as you are running across. Give me a dex save. Oh no. So yes, as you're going in, there's a click, and there is a massive smashing trap.
I'm gonna watch behind us in case that made anything come this way.
You would take 55 bludgeoning as the ceiling slams down and smashes you into the floor. You would fall prone, but luckily it did not kill you, and it's starting to reset. What are you gonna do?
I'd continue. I'd try to jump forward to here.
Alright, so you rush over to there, and Beldani might tell you that he's already been over there. That's where the lever was.
Yes, the lever is around the corner in the little alcove at the other end.
That was the lever to this thing. Oh, okay.
That was
Yeah.
the lever that opened the grate.
Gotcha.
Did we close
The
the
hall of
store
traps.
behind us?
It would have closed. You talking about the grate?
No, this one back here.
I think she's back at the
I
room.
don't know. Are you closing it?
Well, Theo came behind me, so I
Theo's
would
out
have
here.
closed it if I was the last out.
Sure.
I would have pressed the button to. I can.
Yeah,
turn
he
the gate
said he
back
was
on.
going out last. I
That's
just
right.
stopped here because I was waiting for Donnie to do his checks because I assumed I have to figure out how to get past myself.
Lou said that we helped each other get past the traps.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. In that
Although
case.
now Donnie is on the other side of that trap.
Well, I mean, I was waiting because I thought we were making checks. I was just waiting for everyone to do their rolls. If she needs to, she would become a tiny spider. It's fine.
We were doing
But-
checks?
Nope.
No,
We all went
You're
across
good.
more or less at the same time.
just
I
head
just
this way.
heard people
Just head
doing
this
checks,
way.
so I was waiting.
That's
and
Donnie
I can't see around
Wainwright.
the corner.
That was
Yeah.
Johnny because he had a trap. The rest of
That's
Okay.
it.
Yeah,
That's a
there-
completely different area. Yeah.
There is a trap
All right.
over there. Yeah. So,
All right.
what are you gonna do, Donnie? How are you getting back?
Someone throw me a rope.
Which way?
We're up
Donnie's to the
here.
right. Lou, I would have pressed the button after Baythager got out and used Vortex Warp once out of Anti-Magic Zone to get to this side.
when I
said-
see
You
Ivor,
mean
I'm
from
gonna
the
do
room?
a bit of a double take.
I'm pressing the button in the room. I'm making my way out and along the hallway. Once I get out of Anti-Magic Zone, then warp the rest of the way to get to here.
Yeah, I mean, you could just run over there. There's the
Oh.
things, but if you want to do it that way, you can do it that way.
Wait,
If
I
it's-
thought he was saying he was porting from here
No,
out.
no.
So that
Just-
you didn't have to do the anti-magic zone.
Yeah, but I mean, the ropes are still set up here and here, I believe. So you could have just gone across if you want. The bars take a while to come back up after you press the button.
Part of my coming back is collecting the ropes and stuff because I don't want to lose them.
You're gonna take time to pull all the pittons out of the wall and everything.
Well, I saw Donnie turn right. I know that's a dead end from what Donnie said, so I have the time.
All right. Well, I guess if you want, so Theo is in there removing the pittons and rope right now, and the bars would come back up. But Donnie, what are you gonna do?
You said throw you a rope, Donnie. Is that correct?
Yeah, just been standing here.
I'm not sure that's going to help you keep your feet off the floor necessarily.
Oh, good lord! I'll get him. So I'll misty step in to where he is, and then I will dimension door us both out.
All right. So you poof him back through a dimension door, and Donnie, you are once again over there, safe.
Please don't do that again, Donnie. I really have limited amount of magic.
It just thrown me a rope and I could have tied it on the other edge and walked across it, but okay. Spent a lot of time figuring out how to do really simple shit.
Well, actually, Donnie, it's the floor that triggers it, so if you walk across it, it's going to smash you again. Perhaps you should treat the professor with some respect, yeah?
Thoughts the rope would be elevated. Duh.
Is that going to keep you off the floor?
Yes.
How
You weigh
on
like
earth is that?
200 pounds, Donnie.
Strong, tight rope.
Getting my rope.
It's tight. So Theo, I'll say everyone's kind of waiting. You spend 10 minutes to get those resources, and you can poof back through.
It should be quicker than 10 minutes to pop some pittons.
Well, there's
We've hammered them
We're
into
pretty in
stone.
there.
yeah. I mean, for people to use them well, they have to be pretty secure. So you probably have to take a while to
Take the rope.
loosen them. But afterwards, you could poof out. So what do you all want to do?
Shall we go to the north?
Well, I don't think there's anything on this map left to the north. It looks like if there's anything that we have not explored here.
Where did Donnie go? Oh, there he is. Okay.
Where's everyone? Did you guys all go southeast? Oh, there you are. Okay.
There's
So
there could
Space
be
the halls are pretty quiet.
My computer is too slow to keep up with y'all. I mean, I'm sorry.
But yeah, the halls are pretty quiet as you look around. It seems like there's nothing currently that you can see or hear moving through these halls.
I mean, Professor, looking at your map that you've so wonderfully drawn of this area, it looks like there could be some sort of room or chamber in the southeast.
It does,
Or-
rather, doesn't it? Should we go down-
Perhaps in the far west.
So I'll point on the map and down at this room in the southeast, which I don't think we fully...
Oh, that's where the demons were, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's some rocks in there.
Can I just become a chipmunk and ride on Thalia? That way I don't have to move.
Sure.
Thank you.
So
Because I'm having so much trouble here.
So I'll point out where the lights don't, where the lines don't align, and say perhaps we should go to the south and look in the southeast west corner, east corner.
We will have to go north and around first. There's a cave-in directly south of us.
Yes.
Oh, all right. Oh yes, that's right. There it is on my map. Read my own writing.
Betha, you have your torch, right?
She's with me.
She's a chipmunk.
She's wearing the Eternal Flame ring or the Continuous Flame ring, but it probably was absorbed when she wild shaped. So yeah, she's just a critter on Thalia, but Thalia's carrying a light.
Yeah, and I have a ring.
Alright, I'll use the party token for Betha.
Recall correctly, there is
Ivor, why are you trying to run up front?
There's a trap up ahead.
Yeah, so you see the floor up ahead is a bit smashed, but you think you disabled it, so you're not sure if they re-enabled it or if it's still here.
I'll go and actually test the trap by stepping on the pressure plate.
It seems to still be disabled.
The way is clear.
I was waiting for Ivor to run ahead to the trap.
I'm just trying to keep pace with the party, my friend.
Alright, so yeah, the halls are quiet. You've not seen any patrols or any cultists. Everything seems dead silent.
Professor, do you think there might be a chamber here?
Oh! Yeah, I do want to... Hang on a second, guys. We need to check the magic room. I'll float across this pit trap.
Very well.
Also, is this still going?
So the room would have... Actually, at this point, if you went in, the fire is no longer glowing on the floor.
Interesting.
Statue's still glowing, though?
The statues shouldn't be glowing either, so let me take that off.
I don't remember if I had done a once around after acquiring Tinder, so I'm just gonna do that.
So I'm gonna look at the. Oh, good. I just put myself in the wall.
Oops.
Nailed it.
Teleportation gone awry.
Not my fault. It looks like the hallway.
I would actually check this table for the last key we're looking for.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Fucking robot behind the statue.
Thank you. I'm gonna speak to Betha as a chipmunk, and I'm gonna say, Betha.
Squeak, squeak, squeaker. Squeak, squeaking.
Among your ingredients in your pack, do you happen to have any saffron, mushroom powder, and fat?
Squeak, 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 squeaky, squeak, squeaky, squeak.
That looked like a positive squeak or a negative squeak.
Lou, Betha has all the possible ingredients she can carry as far as like dried herbs for like cooking and flavoring things. So I don't know if she has what Zayla just asked for, but I'd like to think she does.
Saffron and mushrooms, I hope so.
Is it a component thing?
Yes, it is. I want to make an ointment for the eyes that costs 25 gold pieces and is made from mushroom powder, saffron, and fat.
I feel like saffron is the expensive bit there.
So, go ahead.
With saffron and Betha, I don't know if you ever got like a spice kit or anything, but saffron is a cooking spice. So she might
yeah,
have
it is. Unfortunately, okay.
Is this
honestly,
power or
Betha has cooking spices, but they're on Arda.
So,
She's not carrying them.
is
Yeah.
this a priced magical component you're talking about?
Yeah, I just said yes.
So
Yeah.
if it's a
25.
priced magical component, you could probably use arcane components to replace it, or you probably have to buy
I
it.
will do that, and then I'll buy some more when we get to town. But okay, yeah. So I'm going to cast True Seeing on myself.
Yes.
Yeah, you
All
are.
right, so you
Throw a picture pad in your eyes.
pull some of the components out of your pouch as they flare up in your hand, and your eyes glow with True Seeing. You don't see anything in here that would indicate a secret door.
Yes, but
Though you would now see a demonic or devilish little shape sitting on Ivor's shoulder.
And I would imagine that.
see Ivor, not
Ivor's.
yeah.
Yeah, you
Oh
see.
yeah, and you would see Ivor looking exactly.
Yeah,
Ivor
well,
question
she
mark.
learned her lesson, didn't she? One day too late. So lucky for Ivor. Okay, so I'll sniff a little as I see the demon sitting there.
Devil.
Devil.
Like sniff
So,
the
question.
devil.
I
Does
was
she
like,
see
she chortles.
Tinder? Does she see Tinder as an imp, or does she see Tinder as something else?
Yeah, what do I see him as? Good
You
question.
would probably see him as an imp.
Oh. Well, to be fair, it was another one of the illusions in this place that told us he wasn't what he seemed. So I don't know.
Well, and
And-
there actually there's a fair amount to unpack with devils that wouldn't necessarily be tied to illusions.
Yeah.
What time is it right now, Lou?
It is probably about maybe 8:30. You've been walking around about a half hour since you left.
Okay.
While that was going on, I was searching this desk trying to find the last key we're looking for.
Oh, yeah.
No, the desk is pretty much destroyed. There's nothing of value. I think you searched this desk already when you first came in here.
Oh,
So we're still
also
looking for a
would
key,
have-
and we're still looking for how to a lever or a mechanism for opening that door behind the snake statue.
yeah. Would also have looked over Cordis for anything he might have had on him.
Oh yeah, maybe he has it.
With what? Well, you already did detect magic on him.
It was more so
Just
mundane
searching
items,
him, you
like
mean?
a potential. Yeah, like looking for keys or anything else, or a piece of paper that says, "This is why I did it."
So you probably would have found about 80 gold pieces worth of arcane components on him, but that's
Ooh.
about it.
Okay.
And you probably had a focus, maybe for maybe a components pouch for casting and a focus.
Poor guy.
Eighty components, arcane.
Yep.
If there are no demons in here, could you start smashing away at that door?
Allegedly.
Okay. I'm gonna keep my eyes going left and right, looking along this way for secret doors or traps or anything that True Seeing would reveal to me. Lou.
All right. So I'm guessing you're just gonna search around here for a bit, right?
Yeah, we're basically trying to fully exhaust every avenue that we can.
Hang on, Zalia, come down here
So-
real quick. To the bones. Yeah, head south. I remember there were bones here that we almost activated on. Are those still going with magic and stuff?
You don't see any bones in the altar anymore, and the glowing fire around it is gone.
I wouldn't notice magic, would I? Would I see magic signatures with True Seeing? I think I see secret doors by magic.
Yeah, I don't think True Seeing shows magic signatures. The bones are still here, and the altar's still here, but a lot of the magical effects you saw before are gone.
And no secret doors in here.
No.
Okay.
The room seems empty other than all the bones piled.
Whole lot of bones.
Yeah, I can't see that. I can see visual illusions and succeed against them. I can see the original forms of things. I can see into the ethereal plane, and I can see in magical darkness and see invisible creatures and all.
Well, this is interesting. I could have sworn that there were beds in here before. That's whack.
Yeah, there were. Were there?
The room seems empty as far as you can tell.
Were these ghost beds?
They must have
Perhaps
been.
they were.
Okay, open this top door.
Even the furniture doesn't exist.
Yeah, does this place look, of course to me it would, but does it look much more, like, different, less used, more...
It probably looks the same, other than some of the furniture does now seem to be missing, like the beds you saw.
Belle, keep an eye out for keys.
I'm keeping an eye out for anything unusual.
Oh, if I reach into the bag and try and pull out one of Orbrow's bones, do they come out? Do they still exist?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, Orbrow is gone, so I should probably take the skeleton out of here where he was.
Can I open this door, Lou?
Yes. So you
I will
push-
not open it.
Get behind me,
Yeah, is
please.
everyone here? Yeah, okay, everyone's here. All right.
The room seems bare.
Does there seem to be any secret door?
You still see those vents kind of up in the corners where those demons were kind of hanging out up at the top of the room, but you don't see any secret doors.
Well done. You
fly out and
please
check.
open these vents?
Certainly.
Well, what do you want me to do about it, you dumb axe?
So what exactly am I looking at, Professor?
Just to see if there's any mechanisms or doors here. Do I see anything? Just like
The vents are up, aren't they?
Yes.
And then it's pretty much like tunnels going off to somewhere.
Yeah, you'd probably have to climb up or get a boost or something to get up to them. They look...
I'm gonna lift Betha up to them. Oh, they're really high?
Yeah, they're probably about maybe 15 feet or so off the ground.
So
somewhat high.
the chipmunk, I don't know why I chose chipmunk. Maybe I should have chosen one of the like tiny creatures that has stats, but can I climb? Can I go look where she's putting me?
Do you have a climbing speed?
I just
don't have
randomly
sheets.
said chipmunk. There's no like
Okay,
stats for
yeah.
that. If
I
I
can
need
just
to be like
fly up
can I be a rat or something instead? Whatever unless I know that Zalia is not fond of rats.
All right.
No, so there's no issues.
So the vents are pretty much, I'll just say you can go examine them. They seem like they're caved in, don't really go anywhere.
Chipmunk would kind of like, or rat or whatever, like would kind of like scurry and climb and investigate and poke and try to get through, and then like kind of turn and look at Zalia and just shake its head back and forth and squeak.
And actually, if you're searching around, when you at some point maybe examine the cathedral again, you would see that the third secret door is opened.
So much.
Oh, no,
Well, we were
Heavy
just
breathing.
there. Oh my goodness.
False
okay.
Hydra. That party member has been stealing from us.
And there does not seem to be anything in there as far as you can tell. It just leads to nothing.
I need the good eyes here.
What? All right. Where are you? Okay.
I loved how quickly Theo just moved his token immediately here.
Full on fly dash action and everything.
You just turbo through the dungeon.
Like 2 token moves, I am here now.
Hang on, guys. Don't just rush forward. There might be triggers or something.
Do I see anything?
No, it seems empty.
I'm sorry, Theo, but it seems to be quite empty.
Oh,
Okay. No. There were
I do think
two.
it's worth checking the other rooms that might verge. You see the map here? There's one here to the north of the other room, and then one slightly to the west.
Theo just points at the wall where he's at. I think there's another room in there. In there,
What?
there's either a lot of empty space, or there's another room there, because the side rooms that we went into do not extend all the way back. You see how far back this wall is?
It's a good thing
The-
Zaylee is such a
the
good
other-
map maker.
The other rooms only come to about this far, so we still have about the size of those rooms left here.
I am trained in cartography.
Perhaps it
And
is
I
those,
am in masonry.
perhaps it is those rooms themselves which extended, and we should check them out as well.
I'll look here where we are, see if I see any secret doors.
No, you wouldn't see any.
Okay, I'll come back around. I have a slight sinking feeling, Thea, that this is just really bad craftsmanship.
It's Dwarven, how dare.
I mean,
Maybe
it could
that
just,
air vent.
maybe they're using it as a structural support back there.
Yeah.
Okay, so nothing in either one of these side rooms either?
No, it doesn't look like there's any secret doors in these side rooms.
Okay.
So Donnie's going to take this moment to pull out the battering ram.
Okay.
Start gonna smash the walls.
And no, I'm taking out the statue.
Alright, you,
Oh, yeah.
Alright. Well, I'm
You're
going
gonna-
to stop the room because that might blow up.
you spend some
I-
time to smash this statue. It's actually not that hard. It comes apart pretty easily as you slam it several times with the battering ram, and it is destroyed.
I kind of spend a little time searching through the rubble. Any, jewels, rubies, things that don't seem to be normally a part of that would normally be a part of a statue, for example. Like nothing hidden inside of it I could discover.
You do find on the inside, I'll say that probably took you about a half an hour to do, while everyone was just hanging out, looking around.
Yep.
You find on the inside it has a core of a diamond. That looks
Neat.
like it's probably worth about 500 or 600 gold pieces. I'll say 600.
I pull it out and I'd go back up to Zaylee and Betha probably and say, "Look, I found it pretty."
500 or 600 gold pieces?
I'll say 600.
Alright,
You
I'm
would-
going to add it to the...
Yep, go ahead and add it to the treasury. I found it pretty.
It's beautiful, Johnny. Where did you find it?
Smashing statues. I told you we should smash more statues.
So I will have returned to this room, but not during the half an hour. I would have checked this room down the bottom here, Lou, while I still juicing up, and this room that I'm in right now.
Okay.
Any secret doors in those rooms?
No secret door in the one you're in. And what was the other one?
This one.
No. Both are clear.
Okay. I'm trapped in this room now. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I'll go back. And I'm gonna start drawing teleportation circle here while Donnie's talking to me.
Wow.
Which room are you in? Would we all join you?
Temple, yeah.
Cathedral.
I'm gonna assume Betha is still on. Well, it went back to
we're in
Zaylee's shoulder after checking the.
We're in
button.
that room.
All right. So
Are you concentrating while you're drawing the teleportation circle?
I'm like not. I can't not be I could be interrupted because I'm drawing from a picture, so I could pause for a minute. But so yes, but I will be crabby about it.
Donnie would kind of take a moment when, again, ideally, no offense, Ivor, as a player, but as a just to play this off a little bit, would say quietly to you, "You notice the." Donnie's aware of Ivor, right? You indicated that you have that true sight now, and so did you indicate that you could see the devil,
Yes.
or are you keeping that to yourself?
Oh no, I didn't tell anyone I could see the devil. No.
Okay, well then I'm not going to say anything.
We've just been seeing Zalia make extra faces.
Yeah, I've been pulling faces in Ivor's direction.
She's extra.
If you don't
peeved
say
with
anything,
Ivor,
then I'm
we
not
don't
going to say
know
anything
why.
back. So
Okay.
yeah.
are you trying to cast a teleportation circle spell? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah,
Could you link that one?
sure. I wanted to take us to Oh, hold on. I'm gonna have to look in my notes to see where we agreed that they were.
So you can only teleport to another permanent teleportation circle, which I think you know a
Yeah.
couple by now.
I do. I knew the one. Well, we agreed that there was one in the college back home.
Yeah.
There was one I
Yeah.
copied in from the lab. Is that right?
There was. I don't think there was one in the lab. There was the hollow point in the lab, but that's different from a teleportation circle.
Wasn't there also a teleportation circle though? The one that what's his face was caught in?
No, that was part of the hollow. That wasn't a true teleportation circle. I think the only one that you all have found would be in the tunnels under the fountain. There was that one you came upon.
Oh, in Issac?
Yeah. I don't know. Well, and of course the university, but I don't know if you found any others.
Okay, in that case, I probably wouldn't do it. I thought there was one.
The hollow
Was there
point.
not?
So the
okay.
hollow point circles are teleportation points, but they're not true teleportation circles. They're a little different.
Okay. So the one that I learned in Issac, but I would have started with 2 from my previous life. So did we say one was? Oh, I remember. We said it was at my aunt's house, her like summer cottage, but we haven't figured out what that is yet.
Yeah. So, I mean, if she's fairly old and powerful, she may have had time to create a permanent one there, which you may have studied when you were younger.
Yeah. So we can figure out what that is. I figured it was like off in someplace nice, like in the mountains.
Yeah. I mean, you can use the tunnels to get back to the surface from here.
Yeah, let's do that then. Let's just walk like normal people.
Like normal people.
Why is this room empty?
Alright, so the group...
Anything else you want me to do, you dumbass? There's nothing else in here.
What's he saying to you, Donnie?
It's between me and him.
Oh, goodness.
By the way,
as a player, you're keeping your own secret, so...
by the way, perhaps it bears sharing, but the room which Hollowhand previously had decided was a forge of some kind has absolutely nothing in it. I don't know that that's necessarily surprising, but perhaps information worth having.
I still think it's awfully curious that he appeared here. I don't know how. I think we should contact him when we get back. I didn't prepare send. Oh, yes, I did. When we get back to Char, I think we should send him a message. Try to figure out what's going on.
Alright, so you're headed back up to Char. I'm gonna delete your tokens. You don't have to go to the entrance, because yeah, this place does seem abandoned. You've just been walking around in this in these empty halls. Anything else you want to do before you leave?
I'll just turn to Donnie and I'll say, Donnie, I think that I personally owe you an apology. I spent much of our time down here doubting whether or not the Bodak had any real relationship to the dangers that we faced, and in the end, it seems that you were exactly correct, and in the future, I shall attempt to do a better job of trusting your judgment. I think that you have certainly earned that.
Thanks.
Thanks. Alright.
Moving on!
Donnie's man.
He's still eyeing you a little bit. He's not a big fan of the devil on your shoulder. Well,
I
again,
imagine he's not a big fan of me either, yeah, but I don't know that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I kind of do.
Well,
but...
you know he's definitely I'm sure you noticed, both as a player and overall, how Donnie was kind of just following you around that entire time.
I did, actually. I was like, well, this is awkward.
Alright, so traveling through the caves, heading back up, give me survival checks. As you make
Is
your
that
way
2 people, right?
Yeah, up to 2 people.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Donnie was usually doing that.
Yeah, I can do
Someone
it.
else?
You do have some familiarity with this cave, so it's not a hard check. Just to make sure you don't get
Might have
lost.
been Betha. She's got plus 8.
We got some kick-ass rolls here.
So several hours of travel.
I bet she's like wild shaped and just ignoring y'all,
Question.
I guess.
Could I flash a Genius Donnie survival? Or would it taking place over an extended period of time?
Yeah, I think it would be more like over an extended time, so I'm not sure if that buff
If
would...
it's an
No, we can
extended
definitely
time.
roleplay Theo talking in Donnie's ear the entire way annoying.
But magically, I don't think that's how
If
Flash
it's an
of
extended
Genius...
time, then maybe after Betha's wild shape wears off, she might do a survival check.
Okay.
I mean, we've got the map. It shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, no, I mean, with the 13, you're fine.
All right, cool.
So it takes a few hours of going through the caves, but at around 11 a.m., you all pop up back within the Dwarven Burrows, somewhere under the Rune Church. Familiar area. Give me a d20 roll for events.
All right.
Our designated roller.
Oh, sorry, hang on. I don't know why.
Beldani is fate.
So at this stage of the game, all of our stuff is still at the inn. We haven't really like moved into our house yet. We just bought it, right?
Yeah, I think we were waiting for everybody to move out.
We need to go like shopping and buy. We need to go to like Home Goods and get.
We need to furnish that shit.
Go to Whole Foods. Or,
Yeah.
or
Well, okay.
Go to
Here's another thing,
IKEA.
guys. We also
put
need
together
to,
some
maybe,
bookshelves.
we also need to maybe,
You don't have to worry too much about furnishing the house. I'll just do like however much you want to pay for upkeep to see how lavishly you want to live.
Honestly, though, it's actually fair that, in medieval and Renaissance times, if you, came into possession of a villa or castle or house, oftentimes it was already furnished. You, got most of the furniture with it.
Well, the house is fairly small if you're talking about the house you bought off those people, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
How many rooms are there?
Yeah, how many rooms are there? We're gonna
Do
need
we have a
map.
bathroom?
I mean, there's an outhouse. There's no sewers. Well, I guess there is technically sewers, but they don't work.
Is there like a backyard that we could expand and build a bathroom of some kind?
There's probably room out there. You could dig a hole.
Just a hole. We have an artificer here. It's just a hole.
Are you gonna research sewers and add a sewer to Char? Is that your next project?
Doesn't have to be a sewer necessarily. It just needs to be a
sewer eventually over time. Long-term project. Can't do the trains and stuff. Sewers.
You're gonna build a septic system in the house.
Theo will draw it up and then give it to Mayor
Theo starts designing pumps.
Artisans.
Here you go. Here's what you need to build.
Right. I do have a pump in Isaac I can study.
So where are you headed exactly from here once you're in the tunnels again?
To the inn, I think, since our house is...
You're gonna head to your house area, back kind of past the halls of Tarsus?
Coming up through the house, because that's where we went down. And we're gonna know that it's empty. And be we need to pick up some curtains here and whatever. And then we're gonna head back to the inn.
Alright, so you travel. You don't actually have any encounters with your events roll. And you would come up into your house at about... I'll say 2 in the afternoon.
Do we have any NPCs keeping things for us here in Char in this group? I can't remember.
We have Melody. We invested in her
She's
shop.
basically just running her shop. She's not keeping our house or anything.
Yeah, we're gonna have to hire a house.
Where's Alira?
I'm pretty sure Alira was watching the place.
Yeah, Alira has been watching.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Oh my God! What a sight for sore eyes.
Wow.
Hooray!
You are back at the town.
Did we have to? I forget. We still have stuff stabled at the inn, or do we have a stable out back of our house?
The house doesn't currently have a stable.
We're gonna need a map of the house. Can we go up a level with the neighbor's mind?
Blocking their sunlight.
Oh, one level. This is going to turn into a giant tower.
There's actually
maybe we can just buy out the neighbors.
Unfortunately, coding of the block will keep you from building there.
I want to see the coding.
The housing.
He wants to look
the housing authority. The
homeowners association is going to be.
If we make a donation to the town, Public Works, will they revise the code?
HOA shows up, Theo lets off a lightning bolt.
This is just a pied-à-terre that we have. Our actual house is going to be back at the Alcavian Labs, so...
It's true. This, I mean, I guess you can build this bigger, but yeah, I thought you all were moving to the labs.
We have a lot of money, Luke.
Yeah.
I can spend all that in one item.
So can we send notices out? Well, no, let's check the mail, guys, because Zalia sent out a bunch of requests to different people when we were here last.
It's true, but we were only here last like 2 days ago.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you haven't been gone that long. It's just been very eventful 2 days.
I do want to go to the market to look for a couple things.
I do too.
Yeah, I think Bailey
Well-
needs some stuff too.
You can buy things at book price right now in the market.
What about
The town
magic
seems.
components?
Sorry,
Was
what?
Azalea needed specific components like the saffron and stuff?
Mhm.
Well, the town seems to be doing well, actually. The market is booming. The caravans are coming through again, and you see a lot of new people within the town. Some of the older ones would recognize you and greet you and wish you good day. But yeah, you could probably find some of your magical ingredient stuff within the marketplace now that the caravans are going through.
Can I try haggling
There's-
the price down late?
There's a lot of talk of events in Issyk and the rebuilding effort there. It seems like a call has gone out for laborers.
Hi, we did that.
You're just going to start
We.
telling people we did that as they're talking. Are you that guy? You walk up when they're having a conversation. Yeah, we did that, and they're like, "Who?"
That was
what?
me.
Hi, we're the Misfits, and this is our favorite shop in all of Char. Can we get a discount?
I mean, if you
Pretty
want
much
to try
captured.
to haggle, you could probably get some discounts. But
I do know that basic plate mail is 1,500 gold.
It is. They may not even have it. We'll have to.
no, you don't think they would have it here.
We gotta go to Highguard for that stuff.
Yeah, you might
Or
have to
the
go to Highguard.
Crossroads or the capital.
I'm definitely looking for a hand crossbow.
Oh, that should be easy.
Alright, well, this is kind of downtime we've entered into. So, yeah, there's nothing pressing right now. You figure you may have blew your chance to help up north because it's been, a while. So they may have...
2 days.
been 2
We
days.
told them to wait at least 3 days.
We
and
absolutely
stuff.
did.
Yeah,
we're
we're,
like, we're
staying
gonna be
on the
back.
time frame.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
said we're gonna be back in 3 days. We got shit to do, and they're like, "Yeah, sounds good."
Yeah, so I guess you could go up there and see if they're still
It
waiting.
doesn't mean that people might not have taken advantage of that time to do stuff that maybe might be against our interests, or if not against, then maybe just kind of be trying to slyly work around us or something. But still, it was only 2 days.
I need you to know that if there's nothing to do up there, we're buying a pirate ship and we're going to sea.
Oh god, I want to so bad. Don't tease me.
Actually, Beta might be on board for this. She's been all over the Empire, so.
I think we should go in the morning. But I'm not quite up to full steam, and I do feel like there's
What time is it?
need to be had.
What time is it tonight?
It's
It's
Sunday.
about
midday at
Oh,
this
no,
point.
Oh, okay.
Because you took a while to get up here, so it's probably about, I said 2 p.m. at this point. After all your searching and traveling through the caves, it took you a good amount of time.
Well, Betha would probably just. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
But yeah,
she'd be
things
happy to go back to Baghdad, but
things seem like
Um,
they're going well in Char right now.
let me go. I guess I'd go visit Melody, but I don't want to take a bunch of time RPing. But she would check in on any cases that Betha can help with that maybe her Melody wasn't able to cure, and see how Melody's doing, what she needs.
Oh, also, Robo useful items. I have 10 gems that I can just pull off of here. Do we have
Yeah.
somebody who would buy gems? Because I need money.
Yeah, there's a jewel
I think-
crafter here.
I
I
think
thought you
there
said,
is.
you said
might
you were
get better
rich.
rate. If they're really good gems, I think you might get better rates in the big cities, if I
Well-
remember correctly.
It
Did
has, with customized and stuff, the 10 gems cost 5,000 GP on item description, but I think that price is off.
Did we ever encounter like a jeweler?
Yeah,
Yes,
there's
we did.
definitely a jewel shop in the marketplace, and he's
Crap, I
actually
can't remember his name.
he's still there, and he's been doing pretty well. So he would.
He's a
I don't think
dwarf,
we ever got
and
his name.
I think that Theo is tight with him because of his fucking clan crafter.
Mm.
I do get favor of the stout folk dwarves like
Yep.
Lou, a quick question about my poisoner's kit.
yeah.
Do nature reagents? I'm assuming nature reagents would be usable to make poison with the poisoner's kit.
So That's a good question. Those are more meant for magical things. I might almost think
Okay.
like rare herbs and maybe some alchemical mixtures would be more for poisons.
All
So
right. Because while we're in town, I would like to buy.
We'll say
Like-
we'll say more like rare herbs. Yeah, you could probably pick up some herbs for your poisoner's kit.
Let's determine that we decide to go off in our separate directions to do what we need to do. Be back at the inn.
Yeah, that's what I assumed the group was going to do a little downtime stuff at this
Should we
point.
agree that in the morning we're going to head back to Issyk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Alright, so let's make dinner and
all right,
Should just
so
run off to our own things.
for buying things, unless you're going to haggle, I could just say, like, you all buy things at book price if that's what you want to do. I don't have to spend time on it. If you are doing other things for downtime activities, we can kind of take that on a case-by-case basis.
I'm buying hand crossbow and crossbow bolts at market price. I do want
Okay.
to try and sell at least some of the gems that I have in my code of useful items, or robo useful items.
Are you trying to haggle for a good sale price, or are you just going to try to get rid of them?
Ivor, can you come help me haggle?
It would be my pleasure. It has been too long since I have exercised my powers of persuasion. Spent too much time casting spells.
Thank you so much. You know I'm bad at the whole persuasion bit, but with your help, should work.
So
Yes.
you do...
You are bad.
and Lou,
Yeah.
as far as my true seeing ointment, can I buy that, or can I buy the ingredients and maybe Betha could make it for me?
So you can either just buy the ingredients, or you can use, as I said, arcane components.
Buy some more
Whatever.
ingredients for incense too. I'll make you some.
Yeah, I don't want to deplete our reserves of that. We need it someday. Just spend my.
Yeah, so I'll say you could just buy it probably at book price.
Okay.
Well, let me see the ingredient.
It's
Go ahead,
mushroom
link.
powder, saffron, and fat.
it's just a
can
spell
you-
with
Can you
like
link the
random
spell again?
things and just an amount of that they should be valued at.
Sure, you can go. I'll link it. You can go back to Theo. Sorry, I didn't mean to butt.
All right, so Theo and Ivor are going to speak with the dwarf about gem sales.
Indeed, and I'm trying to
So
persuade him to give us some good prices with assistance from Theo's relationship with the dwarves.
yeah, I
We
have
have
10
some
gems each.
aquamarines. We have some aquamarines in the bag of holding that if you're going to be selling, and if you negotiate good pricing, you might sell for the party as well.
Sure.
How many of those do we have?
It says 4 aquamarine worth 100 gold. I don't know if that's 100 gold total or 100 gold
Yeah,
each.
they'd be 100 each, and then I have 10 gems on me worth.
Yeah, I think
100
the
each.
others are diamonds and pearls and things that we might use. So I just think the 4 aquamarines would be the if you want to include those in your dealings.
Yeah, we'll include those.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check, Ivor.
Okay, and I have a thing on standby.
Oh, guidance, because I think that's an action.
Okay, I'll take the guidance.
So with this, it's probably going to be more over time again, so I don't know if guidance would help with that.
Okay, then I
But-
would assume that.
Can I do the help action then on this?
You can
You
roll a
advantage?
persuasion as well, and I will take the higher one. But I'll give you advantage because you know the dwarf. So you can make a
There we go.
persuasion check with advantage.
He
And I'll
likes
take the
you.
higher one. As you all...
Oh.
Fingers crossed.
And this is just for this dwarf haggling, if we're using Theo on this.
And is there like, do we?
Oh,
or I guess the advantage would be. I was gonna say, do we have any like modifier because we're liked in town or whatever?
Yeah.
I got a nat 20 reduced down to 19.
So
That was nice, though.
with a
Not funny.
19, as you two kind of go talk to the dwarf, spend some time haggling and just kind of catching up, he would be willing to buy your gems. He says he doesn't really need them right now, but he might need them if he travels again. So he'll give you 75% price for them.
Nice.
75%. All right.
Yeah.
That's 50% more than regular.
Very true. Now I just gotta figure out 75% of 1400.
So
Take the aquamarines out or no?
1050.
Yeah, take aquamarines out.
All 4. Okay.
Yes.
so Donnie, what were you doing? Are you doing anything?
What was it, Ivor?
1050.
Thank you.
No, I was looking through the thing. I would probably visit the market and just look around but I was actually thinking about that. I was actually struggling to come up with what Donnie was going to be doing during this time because
Is there a temple to Tyr in town? He might go brag a little.
The temple to Tyr.
There's a shrine of Palor. There's no shrine of Tyr, although you could try to fund building one.
Ooh.
We've got the money to do it.
Donnie,
Not
I do
really.
know.
Tyr it's a much more personal thing for him than any kind of like public worship or like proselytizing type thing.
I figured it'd be like the worship of Crom, building temples to him and stuff. It's more so I worship him living.
So Donnie,
it's not so much like a like, oh my God, Tyr's the best, everyone should worship Tyr. It's much more like just he's motivated to deliver on.
Savior?
yeah.
Huh? Yeah. Have you read the book? Can I tell you? Can I share some scriptures with you?
He's a Tyr's witness.
That's bringing me back some very bad memories from my own youth.
Now, I do know if Ivor and I see you in the market, definitely gonna challenge you to a drinking competition.
Me?
No, Donnie.
Oh.
I'll drink you under the table.
I think we tried this one, and you did not.
Are there
That's
any...
my recollection as well. I think it was at the Maplewood Inn, wasn't it? I don't know.
Something like that.
Donnie would look at you for a moment and say, "You're just going to cheat."
So Zalia, I'll say that you can buy the thing for the spell at 25 gold pieces a use.
Okay, great. I did. I've added that already. Assuming
You could probably actually buy those from Doru.
Okay.
Oh, Doru. We have Doru. I didn't realize we had Doru in this group.
Zintana would like to see if there are any scrolls for sale.
All right. So what spells were you looking for?
What do they have?
What do they have?
Thing.
All level 1 spells.
I don't really have a list, but I guess I could roll up some real quick and see what they have.
I mean, I have a list of spells.
Nope, it's too late. I'm
Tell you,
randomly
this is
generating
what I'm
them.
looking for. I'm looking for major image, slow, tongues, contact other plane, modify memory.
Hang on, I'll see what he has. This isn't exactly a library of the Phoenix Guild, so Doru.
He's a well-educated man that moved out to the sticks, so he knows this shit, but maybe doesn't have this shit.
It's like, yo, man, I can get you the goods.
So
not here.
Let's see. He has
Legend
Mind Blank, which is actually pretty rare. Non-detection, Identify, Light, Detect Magic, Foresight. Or no, not Foresight, sorry. Ray of Sickness, Witch Bolt, and Illusory Script are the spells that Doru has right now.
Those first two are very interesting.
Yeah, it was a good list, actually. That was more than I expected.
Mind Blank and Non-Detection, which are actually pretty rare.
Is non-detection just like the amulet kind of thing?
It's like the spell Non-Detection,
like
which
people can't prescribe.
don't have it in front of me, but yeah, I think it is like the amulet, except it's a spell.
Yeah, I don't know how much good that's going to do, considering we can't cast it on all of us at once.
Well,
True, but
Professor, I have seen some more arcanists come through town. I could keep an eye out and see if any of them have scrolls and send them your way.
I will give him my list, which I have handy, and you already have.
Where do you live now? Or where are you staying?
We're staying at the house on the,
Is that,
Lane.
so you give him the address down the street.
When we're not here, check in with Melody. I'm sure he knows her.
Oh, yes, I do know of Melody. And is that nice young woman still working for you?
I thought that Alira kept the down low and didn't want it to be publicly known that she was ours.
Well, maybe she likes the old man. Who knows?
Oh, good. Okay, I'm okay with them being friends.
What would you like for these 2 scrolls?
What scrolls?
Non-detection and mind.
Oh, you're asking what he's gonna charge. What would he charge? That is a good...
For the heroes of Char.
Well, these are fairly powerful scrolls.
What's mind blank? I don't see that anywhere.
Mind blank?
Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, I just probably didn't purchase.
So...
I can't cast it yet. That's
Still good to have.
definitely interesting.
He says... Oh, I don't have any prices in front of me for magical items. Hang on, I gotta...
10 gold each because he's too slow.
We don't want to impoverish Doru, though.
No, he's probably not gonna sell it for cheap. I just have to... Where was that section? I think that was in... the guide to
I
everything.
totally forgot we had Doru in this game, guys. I'm actually kind of excited about that.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
What about Beldani? Are you up to anything?
I'm just going to buy as much herbs and toxins as I can. I was thinking about 300 gold worth.
Didn't you want a poisoner's kit?
Yes. Well, but I figured anything that's in the player's handbook, I'm just paying book price for. So picking up a poisoner's kit, as well as ingredients for making poison, I'm gonna spend an hour and 50 gold making 4 doses of poison.
So,
and then after I'm done with that, I think I'm gonna see if I can do an evening's performance at the Darkwater Inn, do some dancing for the...
So Doru, quickly jump back. Doru would ask Zalia, would you happen to have any items such as potions or scrolls you'd be willing to trade for this scroll? Gold is not as useful to me.
So we do have some potions, guys. I have this this used this used Secrets of Arcana book.
Oh. I don't know if I need that as much. What else do you have?
I've got a hat of vermin.
I probably will not need to summon rats, but I appreciate it.
Question for you. Is the circlet still in my inventory that was given to us by...
Oh, by,
Hollowhand.
Aranye? No, that is actually gone.
To know.
So, it was in your bag when we left the temple place. Yes, Celia?
Yes, it's gone. No, I didn't notice it this morning, Auntie. I didn't.
Interesting. But well, I guess I was just wondering if it disappeared when we left or some other time.
So why don't we get a list of the items that we might be willing to trade for the scrolls?
We have a bunch of scrolls that we were buying and selling already. So we were going to already be selling Silent Image, Nistel's Magic Aura, Identify, Lehman's Tiny Hat, Magic Missile Scrolls, 6 of them. I should probably take those.
Well, and since Celia put out 2 or 3 notices to different acquaintances, when we were in Char before, it's possible that some deals have already been made and some of these scrolls are already claimed, but we just haven't heard.
Yeah, she's traveling. So Ivor, what are you doing anything for the rest of the day besides?
I would say that once it got to the point where we were sort of going to go our separate ways and do our own things, certainly I spent some time with Theo at the marketplace, trying to get a good price on those gems. But after he went to talk to Donnie maybe about having a drinking contest, I would have excused myself to the inn. We'll say I excused myself to the room that I have, and I'll just spend some quiet time there in reflection on.
So you're gonna just kind of
the-
hang out at the inn.
Yeah, I've got a lot to think about.
What about Betha? Are you up to anything today?
She would visit Arda, make sure she was well supplied, give some extra tips to any caretakers or handlers for Arda. She already paid for Arda's lodging for a week when we were here 2 days ago. But just give a few extra silvers to make sure Arda's being well cared for. And then I would probably go to Melody's shop and just check in with her, make sure everything's going well, and just do a little bit of PR for the group by healing any special cases or lending my hand however I can.
Alright, so you
And
can,
Betha would absolutely use spells and abilities if needed for any cases that require it.
give me a medicine check if you're helping out at the shop.
Making money in the business we own.
Alright, this is a 30?
Yes.
Nice.
So yeah, you do a lot of good in the shop, spending your time helping heal, and you earn a favor socially with some of the townsfolk, which you can spend on a advantage for a check.
Okay. Is it kind of like a rumor around town about something like we did really nice, or is it like a specific kind of group or type of?
It's more just around town. If you're looking for some kind of social check, you can use the favor for advantage.
All right. When the group reconvenes, Betha would relay this that, hey, if we needed, I think we could, ask for advantage.
Well, you can. If
Oh,
Betha's
only
doing
I
something,
can.
yes.
Oh, all right. Okay. Well, I would still mention it in case the group has a time that they want Betha to go and kind of try and ask for it or something.
It's
just so everyone's aware
basically
that we have it.
it's basically a more specific story point that can only
You
be
healed
used.
my grandpa. Of course, I'll do it for you. Something like that.
Yeah, just kind of calling in a favor for helping heal
Gotcha.
a bunch of people.
Okay, sure.
All right, so I guess is there anyone else that I haven't gotten to? I think I got to all of you, right?
Belle was going to do some performing.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna finish with Dora, go back to the inn, and probably go and have a conversation. And then we can play that offline, and then meet, assuming everything goes smoothly to that point, planning to go down and have dinner and watch Beldani dance.
All right. No working on potions or anything?
I mean, it was kind of, we only had half a day, so Betha couldn't do anything.
I would probably give you the day if you wanted to spend time working on that stuff. But all right, so no.
And FYI, Lou, I did subtract, or I want to subtract some gold for the Arda's handlers. Anyone caring for Arda at the inn, like where she's stabled?
So that would be
how
part
many
of your
hands-
upkeep, depending
Yeah.
on how you wanted to live. I forget the
Oh,
amounts.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
alright,
doing
then.
less. I'm trying to
She
kind of
paid
consolidate.
ahead for a week when we were here 2 days ago, so I just was trying to give extra tips, but that's fine. If that's already paid, that's awesome.
All right. So I guess we can end here then, since we're kind of at 8:30, and
Oh,
I
is
think
it?
you've all done what you want to do. Theo, you said you wanted to perform, so give me a perform check.
No, Beldani.
Eldani did.
Oh, Beldani, give me a perform check.
Yes. All right.
And where are you performing?
At the Darkwater Inn.
Okay.
If we're all there and we're egging the crowd on and cheering and being good audience members, can we give him advantage or something? I don't know. Not that he needs it.
So, what type of are you just trying to kind of entertain people?
Yes, I'm doing some sort of interpretive dance for the people.
in
And
the
we all
crowd.
recognize his interpretive dance as a recreation of one of our battles, but no one else would.
Right. So you spend a good amount of the day performing, and with a 22, that would probably earn you an advantage check to a social check in the Darkwater Inn if you want to cash that in later.
Oh,
As
right.
you get
Excellent.
better, kind of more well known there and make some friends. So you could just list that as a resource somewhere.
Excellent.
Hey Lou, would it be possible maybe during the downtime to either message you or we could do it in like journal or RP? Like maybe some other activities we were thinking. I was just struggling to think of what I wanted to be doing or looking
Yeah,
forward
and
to.
we can over the week if any of you think of anything else you want to do during the day. So Beldani and Betha kind of use the day to do theirs because they made the rolls already. But if any of the other you think of something, we can figure it out.
Yeah. Fair enough. Appreciate it.
Give me MVP checks or whispers.
I like that phrase. They are now MVP checks.
Yeah.
Roll for MVP.
All for MVP.
Can't tell you how happy I am to be leaving on this map.
I know.
Right?
The relaxing music.
I think it's time to go back into the dungeon.
Donnie's like, I'm going down.
The Dungeon of Illusions.
He's like, you all can stay here and fucking take naps.
Oh,
I'm
wait,
gonna go
wait.
kill
wait a
invisible
second.
demons.
So
Other things we picked up in that Dungeon of Illusions that we have so many questions about, besides the circlet, like other things we picked up there are still with us. No.
what do you mean?
Like the
Well-
diamond and some.
Yeah. So the other things, the only thing that you saw that disappeared was the thing that was related to Aranye.
The circlet. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's so much where we weren't sure what was real down there, and so I wasn't sure if like some of the items, like because Beta got a very powerful magical item down there, and I think we picked up a couple other things. So yeah.
And,
No, most of it was real.
All right. So Betha would be very pleased to learn that to still have the holy symbol, the finely jeweled holy symbol of Moradin with her after we left that place.
So with 3 votes, Betha, you are MVP.
Oh wow! Thank you. Thank
There's
you.
a pretty clutch healing there.
Yeah,
We
right.
would have been
I
dead.
tried.
Crazy at the beginning.
I was so worried because I got into the fight so late, and then like my action economy, I was just like, oh my god, what's the best thing I can do this round? Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.
I'm glad I kept you. Well, and I was also very, very because since 2 of the NPCs were already dead before I arrived, I was really trying to keep the 3rd one alive.
Yeah, and then he disappeared right after.
Right, but still, at least we got to chat with him, and
that's
I don't
true.
know. There was closure, maybe, sort of. I don't know. I'm not sure, but
Who
I
even
tried.
knows? I
The
don't
family we bought the house from, they had kids, right?
Yeah,
they had one daughter.
They actually are all moved out now, so you don't know where exactly they went.
If we
you
run
able to
into them
talk
again, I
to
might give one of them a dog.
Yeah, when we spoke to them most recently, I think they said that they were going to hole up at the Darkwater Inn because we gave them money to hole up at the Darkwater Inn until they were able to find something else more permanent. We gave them like
To get
We
enough
gave them
money
enough
stay
to
there
like.
for like fucking a year or something.
Yeah.
Okay, it should be good then. But we
Oh,
could
yeah.
have Alira check up on them just to make sure that they get settled and stuff.
Yeah.
We can definitely do more downtime RP next time as the group figures out what they want to do next.
So maybe you could get a ear out for housekeeper.
I would probably go by. There's Templeton, not Moradin here, but Palor, right?
Hello, yeah.
I'd probably take Cordis's body and Orbrow's bones and take them to be interred
All right.
and let them know that they were.
Let's
more.
let's work on that next time because I don't have
Okay.
something might come of that. So
I'd like
Alright.
to go with you on that, by the way.
yeah, we can plan. I mean, we don't have to do like fighting and dungeon exploring every game. We can just spend some time on this downtime stuff.
Yeah, that might be really nice. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Well, if we did stay here a few days, like Theo could craft, and
We gotta get up to Isik though, because we're on
True.
timer.
That's true.
That's
But
true.
maybe
It's
you
like
know,
such
maybe it
a
could be
pain.
short.
Like we fucking liberated the city, and then it's like, damn it, we're tied to it because of all the politics,
Well,
and we can't leave.
they said they could use your help. They didn't say you had to help them, so you could just tell them. Well,
I know,
we did
I know,
something
but
else.
we want to make
want to be
sure
there for the loot and
stuff
stuff.
isn't like
Well, I
the
mean,
range.
you might want to just blow it off for a while and work on your
Well,
projects.
I think we want to make sure that the interests of like Chiron and the folks that
True, although you do have a way of just
yeah.
contacting them with magic and seeing what's going on up there.
Yeah, which we plan to do, which I plan to do in the evening.
Alright.
Alright. So tomorrow or next week we're still the same day, and we might have some evening and other daytime tasks for those who haven't spent their day yet. And then decide what we're doing next. Okay, cool. And yeah, I mean, we kind of I think we want to get back out to the Alcavian labs too and start that bustling little metropolis that we want to build.
Yeah, we definitely want to get back there, but hopefully this Elhoon thing wouldn't be like a 6-month thing. Let's see.
Wait, what? You're saying you want an Isik side adventure to not take